is Bat Rider, if you let it through, is it that dominating hero at 20-25 minutes, or is it?
It's not always
Selamat
necessarily that way.
siang,
If you have
adik-adik.
enough of physical damage, you can just shoot
Aduh,
him through
Sibal.
that PKB and then he feels insignificant. But honestly, in my
Bullshit
opinion,
banget anjing SA Dota anjing dogshit bangsat. Saya tidak terhibur dengan SA Dota, bro.
In the lower bracket and the other also their
Aduh.
side, right? But
Ini udah mainan baru lah anjing.
Inexperience really did show through a little bit. Like,
unfortunately, that's all the experience they're going to get in that best of one. But, you know, being at TI once, and it's true, when you're a pro gamer, it's like every tournament you do not attend, anybody at any other tournament or going further does get that more experience.
Judi mulu lah.
You know, that's
Gue disuramin sama Bush soalnya anjing nih.
across all kind of esport games. So,
Bullshit
you know,
banget anjing. Game winner siapa?
you know,
Hokori.
to
Tai.
come out of the groups for Hokori, but again, congratulations to Beast Coast, and they will be going up against Evil Genius.
Ini kita ngebet boom ya kan? Bener gak? Bener gak? Boom ide.
I'm sure people are very fond of, because EG, despite having amazing group stage, Beast Coast seems like one of those teams that they can kind of challenge anybody.
Oh god, they destroy everyone in lower bracket.
Gila. Boom kalau menang lawan LGD. Gila.
Top 6 somehow just by killing all of your fan favorites is terrifying. I just want to very quickly and just say like massive
kalau Boom menang lawan Spirit terus menang lawan LGD, gue sujud syukur anjing.
Like very little support. They talk themselves about the lack of like prep they have. You know, we've joked about Seb's papers in the past and all this stuff, right? But this team doesn't have that kind of support. Yeah, they don't.
Holy moly.
They really like brought themselves up to this by themselves. Like they've grown from playing like these e-pulse tourneys online, these small tournaments. They're very much like just incredibly hard-working players, and to see them get to play at TI, I'm very stoked for them. I'm very happy.
And it will still be probably confidence boosting for them to, you know, where they are.
Hari ini siapa aja main, Cok?
Honor, you know, I think, to get to TI, you know, as a team. So it's certainly something you can come off the back off and be like, we're going to go for the next one. But you know, to wrap up the Beast Coast and Hokori game, we're going to have a winner's interview with Beast Coast.
We're here with Stinger, and Avo is going to help us with the
ini
translations.
anjing,
Congratulations.
Penyanyi
First
Cina
question
yang nyanyi
is
itu,
just,
Cok.
Hokori picked you specifically to play this do or die game. How much did that factor into the way that you played?
¿Cuánto importó el hecho de que te escogiese Hokori en la manera en que jugasteis?
Creo que simplemente ya los conocíamos y también era como que nosotros pensamos que ellos iban a elegir a él o algo así habíamos escuchado.
Ensong, iya Ensong anjing, bener yang nyanyi lagu tuh. Ini tapi orang ini, Cok.
Ya simplemente como que más
orang Peru bangsat.
Más concentrados en el juego.
Okay, so at first when they were thinking of who to pick, these guys thought that Hokori would pick Entity, right? Yeah. And then when they picked the other South American team, it was like, oh, a little bit of betrayal here. But there was more motivation and they were more focused as a result for the game.
Are you ready for EG?
I don't know about EG.
Sí, sí.
Sih. Gue juga ngerti anjing kalau dia ngomong si doang anjing.
See you tomorrow. Back to you guys.
Hasta mañana.
Thank you very much, and again, congratulations to
Sí,
Beast Coast.
sí,
moving
señor.
on to the next round to play Evil
Como
Geniuses.
la puta madre.
Today is a fast
Gary
day. We've
Onko.
got still 3 best of
Kyle,
ones, and
gue tadi
all
ngecek
elimination
Kyle lah.
matches.
Kyle mendukung,
And this one
Kyle
coming
dukung
up is
Boom,
gonna be
Cok.
really
Dan
interesting. It's the defending
bangsat.
champions, Team Spirit versus
Nih ya.
Boom Esports.
Kyle tuh kemarin dukung EG, bro. It's EG year. Terus apa yang terjadi? EG kalah 2-0 sama Thunder Awaken anjing.
Jadi this is their time to shine. Looking forward to the next match. Looking forward to Boom.
And Team Spirit, of course, you know, lower bracket. This is, you know,
Terus dia
we've never
ngedukung
seen a team
nih,
come from
Gary
lower
Onko.
bracket and win TIs. So,
You guys got this, always
they
believe.
Could be the first to do it because they are a winning team. So let's introduce them.
Come on, man.
It's Team Spirit.
Wah, yang juara tahun lalu lah, gila.
Amazing.
Ya. Oh, ini yang juara Team Spirit sekarang ini FBZ ya mainnya. Baru tahu gua. Jaki Boy.
Boom Esports.
Here they are joining the stage, and this rusty host will introduce them. Jaxi, Yopaj, FBZ, Tims, and Scheme. Boom Esports, a huge challenge.
BO1 lah. Lower bracket anjing, lower bracket round 1, Cok. Tirta. Feeling gue kalah sih anjing Spirit, Cok. Gak tau lagi tapi kalau Kyle Kersworth mainnya nggak stabil anjing ini Spirit. Kalau dari matchup mid lane, dia Toronto Tokyo lawan Yopach, gue lebih percaya Yopach menang anjing.
A lot of people still think that. I'd be interested, panel, is this a team that can do it? Can they do a back-to-back?
Yeah, 100%. I think the main reason why they're in the lower bracket is, first of all, prop to Team Spirit.
Botak anjing.
Twitter content.
Udah dibotak anjing, menang jumlah orang botak anjing.
And they'll say like, why did you lose this TI group stage game? And then they're like, yeah, the draft was really bad, and it's just so nice seeing the insight during TI, and I think they haven't found their TI kind of rhythm and identity.
Astagfirullahaladzim.
And if you find that at any point in the lower bracket, that can carry the entire way. And this team, of course, has.
Bro, biasanya yang botak menang, bro.
They don't shy away from.
Hari ini yang botak menang anjing.
Like, if the draft was bad, they'll say we just drafted poorly. It was bad. If someone played poorly out of 5 of them, they will pinpoint that person out as well. It's a strange attitude. It's
hari ini yang botak menang anjing.
But it also sounds like, despite being TI winners, it's no ego.
No.
Because if you can have that conversation with your teammate, that's amazing.
Jangan lupa Paul beli apel batu, apaan anjing?
We talked about teams not
lu kata gue di Malang bangsat, ngapain gue di Malang?
But it seems no ego for Team Spirit, despite being TI champs.
FBZ kalau bagus Indo Pride. Kalau jelek PH Pride.
Listen to like Mirror speak, and I think it was him saying that he had imposter syndrome for a while because people were rough to him in pubs, and you doubt yourself, and you're just not sure. It really feels like they don't have that ego, so I completely agree. I'm very happy for this team and how they've been doing.
By the way,
ya Toro nggak botak anjing, gampang ini mah easy bet bro.
Like, is there any ego there?
Is there ego there? That's hard to say. The players are very.
Grand final pindah arena, iya hari terakhir pindah arena. Ini upper bracket final sama grand final pindah stadion. Pindah sini.
Let me just hype up my boys Boom. This is my favorite C team.
We want to know a little bit about Boom.
Pindah sini.
This team, first of all, starting from the bottom.
Tempatnya konser Blackpink tuh gitu-gitu pindah di sini nih. Nih, tempatnya UFC. Kemarin ada kemarin tuh ada UFC Singapura tuh di sini.
Not respect their own timings very well. If they're 600 gold off a BKB, they might
gitu,
go and fight anyway and then die and set themselves back. So they're laning very good, but they really struggle to solidify their discipline to late game.
But still, even though from SEA, they are buying the BKB.
Inilah pokoknya.
Yeah, I mean if you
pindah sini, Cok. Sekarang tuh di Suntek kalau nggak salah. Sekarang di sini, sekarang di Suntek.
If there is one player on that team that actually
tempat badminton gitu dijadiin ini.
Has been playing in
SEA
for a really long time. From position 1 to position 5, he literally makes anything.
BP jadi opening grand final enggak dong anjing.
He did miss the last TI, but
ya kan beneran Suntek sama Singapura Indoor Stadium.
He takes that hat off. I believe he shaved his head. Is that the Yatoro move?
It is. He's going for that move. The fact that Boom, they have not as much experience, nearly any.
Ya salah, Ligar pindah dari fans OG ke Secret. Ligar ini Karbit.
Yeah, exactly.
Ligar Karbit. Gue kira Ligar setia orangnya, ternyata Karbit. Oke. Berarti nggak usah udah nggak valid anjing ininya. Opininya Ligar nggak valid, Cok. Karbit. Masa nggak boleh dukung dua tim? Nggak boleh lah. Apalagi timnya bisa saling ngelawan anjing. Kalau misalnya nggak bisa saling ketemu nggak apa-apa. Kayak gue nih, gue dukung G2, gue di CS dukung G2, tapi di Dota gue dukung Nikma, itu boleh. Jadi kalau misalnya di CS di CS Nikma sama G2 ketemu, gue dukung G2 tetap, karena yang gue dukung Nikma Dota bukan Nikma CS gitu. Masalahnya ini sama-sama dukung tim ini anjing, OG sama Secret Dota anjing, nggak bisa, Cok.
Then they have to play back like TI finalists round after round, and if they overcome both, then that's a whole new storyline being written. But yeah, Boom.
Anjing ngafalin ini, Cok, posisi war.
We don't get to do like kind of predictions, but if you were to think of predictions, just seeing these teams from
gak logis aja dukung dua tim itu, Cok. Sama kayak gini, Gar. Lu di Liga Inggris lu dukung Chelsea sama MU. Itu nggak boleh anjing. Nggak ada, Cok.
And that was one of their later games, so that's still some momentum, right, going on to the main stage. Or do you think they lost that?
Atau lu dukung Manchester City sama Liverpool? Nggak bisa anjing. Kalau kemarin main gitu lu dukung siapa terus? Nggak bisa, Cok. Nggak bisa anjing.
So that is kind of why you're here. But
I'll predict. It's a different movement, guys.
Not being able to predict is a good answer as an analysis.
The fans win. That's the easy.
Pokoknya kalau nggak bisa ketemu nggak apa-apa didukung. Kan nggak mungkin tuh ketemu apa G2 ketemu Nigma Galaxy di Dota kan nggak mungkin kan. Nah, berarti nggak apa-apa gue dukung gitu.
How strong like Collapse is when you look at Boom, it's Yopaj. They make their entire team revolve around trying to make Yopaj.
Kalau banyak teori, nggak banyak teori anjing itu simple cok. Pokoknya kalau sama-sama di satu tipe game, satu tipe olahraga tuh lu nggak boleh dukung dua. Nah intinya begitu. Kalau sama-sama satu game lu nggak boleh dukung dua. Lu kan Dota katanya dukung OG dulu. Katanya dukung OG, katanya sih dukung OG ya. Tapi sekarang dukung Secret gara-gara OG mainnya jelek. Ya elah karbit itu namanya anjing. Boom Hopium. Hah? Boom lebih ke airport ya. Lebih ke airport sih arahnya sih. Daripada Hopium lebih ke airport gitu. Kalau Boom menang fix Boom ada pawang kersnya, betul. Emang OG jelek. Ini kalau lawan Tundra kena 2-0 jangan kaget. Ya.
From Southeast Asia, they have looked like the best team out of this region this entire year, but at this TI, it's been a little bit of struggle, a little bit of back and forth from them. 1%.
Nanti kolos ya.
1%. They are the 1%. Turns out, yeah, it was Boom all along. That's crazy. So for anybody that doesn't know, in group stages, it was down to the very last day.
Masa perlu gue jelasin lagi kenapa OG jelek?
They were able to close it out with a little bit of help from their friends, and now they're here. Looking at this draft, do you think that they've got what it takes to take down the defending champions, Team Spirit?
They have momentum. I think they were like tweeting. They're like, "Oh, GG guys, sorry." They're here now. They're feeling good. You come up the grave. You're ready to win. I think they're gonna go into this with a really good mentality. Oh, you know what's cooking?
Ini LGD yang dibantai sama Secret tadi loh.
No, it's true. And the other thing that's super interesting about this is that it's kind of that dynamic whereas Team Spirit, it's gotta feel crazy.
Satu-satu sama Hokori. Enggak, lu jelasin dulu ya gimana cerita satu-satu sama Hokori itu gimana, Cok? Sama Bad Boom juga satu-satu tuh gimana anjing? Timnya aja keeliminasi, Cok. Dan dulu kalah satu game. What the fuck, bro?
And then come together with a solid draft. I've seen so many Team Spirit games where they've been down one set and then come back and win the next two. They can't do that here.
PSG aja satu-satu sama Hokori. Iya. PSG-nya satu-satu. Gini. PSG satu-satu sama Hokori. Ya kan? Oke. Tapi tim lu OG kalah 2-0 sama PSG. Siapa yang tolol berarti? Simple logic sih itu. Bet siapa? Gua Boom. Let's go Boom ya nggak? Let's go Boom. Ya nggak? Let's go Boom. Let's go Boom.
Undying instead. This Marcy, is this a
simple? 10 kill Boom.
Pick it 5, move on with your day. It does feel that way. I mean, I will say like Collapse in terms of like the heroes that you tend to think of for Collapse, I can understand why they don't want to play versus Undying.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of wrecks his entire pool.
10 seconds. His pool is also
Boom.
Mars has had a rough TI, I think.
Yeah.
That was what he's saying. So even Magnus.
Tim lu kalah 2-0 sama LGD ini gimana, Cok? LGD bener satu-satu sama Hokori, satu sama Bip juga anjing.
Compared to other offenses, right? Like he's not really an Enigma player, you know. Compared to like, it's like so far down on his list compared to every other offlane player who just really wants to get those big juicy black holes.
There we go. It is going to be the Marcy.
Marcy coy.
Deciding that that's going to be their hero for them.
Standar banget anjing hari ini kok ngeliat Nix slash rack mulu udah tai.
Just has initiation. It's got buff up for your other carries. Because I consider Marcy a carry at this point, no matter what position she's played in. Yeah, so it also sets up Shadow Fiend isn't banned yet. So if Spirit don't pick it, maybe there's an 8 Shadow Fiend.
How many games does Shadow Fiend need to lose just so we're clear before we stop bringing that up?
Ooh. Well, this is I think Secret did this, right? Earlier today, the Nyx Lush. Yeah, good success. They 2-0 LGD.
Allahu Akbar SF!
Especially when you 6-7 it can flex between mid and carry. You get to see everything when you pick your heroes, so you can just pick strong lanes so the Leshrac gets to farm his Bloodstone, hits his timings, and this Nyx, this hero's crazy.
So why is Leshrac first phaseable now compared to the past?
The Bloodstone change.
Yeah.
There's the Shadow Fiend. The Bloodstone change kind of makes it so you have a timing where you don't die in the fights.
Yeah.
So
bro, I don't believe in Shadow Fiend anymore, man.
People buy Arcane Boots now instead of the Boots to travel, so then they can break their Arcane Boots, build this Bloodstone, and it has this really strong mid-game timing.
where it kind of gets on top of all these ranged heroes that people want to pick like the
Tapi dia dapat combo SF Marcy, Cok. Bentar. Ini merubah segalanya, bro. Ini merubah segalanya. Hari ini nggak ada SF Marcy keluar soalnya. Iya nggak sih? Iya anjing, SF keluar. Oh ada deng. Tadi deng SF Marcy tapi kalah.
70% win rate roughly. Kind of unheard of at these stages, but just an incredibly strong hero, and we'll be looking to set up those spike carapace hits likely onto the Shadow Fiend at later dates. We'll have to watch for that.
Yeah, the stun got buffed, so it has more range, so you're always getting caught out. There's been so many 3-man stuns.
Yeah,
every day I see at least like 2 or 3 clips of a Nyx, and they're like, Nyx Ravage.
Yeah, right.
3 heroes dead. And so they're gonna ban the Morph. We saw Morph for Shadow Fiend. Looks really hard matchup. They're banning it as well. The 18 Morph, really scary slot to pick this hero in. Team Spirit's gonna pick more heroes that walk at them. They're gonna probably ban, I'd see a Pango ban, the Kunkka ban for the similar reason. They want the Lesh to be able to walk in and not kind of hit a wall.
Yeah, it felt like in the past you had to protect your Lesh rack so much. You know, you're like finding like your oracles or something like that to try and enable the hero, but with the strength.
Ini jarang dah, tau gue jarang dah si siapa? Jackie main SF anjing.
On the flip side,
Patch SF ini cok, SF mid.
When people put it in the mid lane, so I would be
SF mid
surprised
lawan
if they put in the safe lane, but it doesn't really feel like a Toro hero. I feel like he wants to play more.
That'd be pretty weird.
Like right clickers, less spellcasters rather, and
although to be fair, it doesn't really strike me as a Toronto Tokyo hero either. You know.
You know what? I don't care, man. Let's go.
I imagine him playing Dota the way
he's like a spirit, right? He always wants to play Void Ember, get in there, puck. So
it'll be interesting to watch, and with another couple of bans out here, I think one of the dynamics that we're going to see different from Shadow Fiend this game is that you actually have that Marcy.
Jackie pernah main SF but not really good.
Whereas before we saw.
Berarti nggak mungkin dong dia dikasih SF dong. Yo patch berarti dong.
In this game, you're going to have that sidekick, which the bonus damage, the lifesteal can just rip people to shreds. So that'll be something to watch for there.
The nice thing about Marcy is you pick it early, and you know some games this Marcy destroys. Crushes
her lane,
nge-ban
DB-nya.
She kills your carry.
At least gak ada combo DB Nyx, tapi tetap menurut gue terlalu bagus anjing
Nyx. Even in
the
worst games, if you pick her with a Shadow Fiend, all she has to do is press sidekick off cooldown. You're happy.
Yeah.
All you need is the sidekick sometimes, and good enough.
Well, another round of bans, a lot of mid heroes taken out of the pool, the Terrorblade and the Morphling, and then we saw, of course, the Dawnbreaker, which has been a real menace. And
semua sekarang di tangan mereka, Cok, dah. Kalau kalah ya kalah, bro.
In the pool, with Team Spirit having that last pick, you anticipate that that might be looked at later. Although there's still that question of where is this Slash Rack going to go.
I think a lot of these bans, it looks like they just did research this morning. The Morph for Shadow Fiend ban, the Dawn with the Lesh ban.
Yeah.
Watch them Secret, watch them EG.
They're sitting in here checking out the games, but Team Spirit take care of the draw themselves. That's a hero they've used versus the
Shalkers lawan buff Ibot lagi ini.
Trying to find that little bit of a distance.
So they're probably going to try to pick a hero that will deal with the Marcy, unless they want the Nyx to lane the Marcy, which a little iffy. You can die to these Visages even as the Nyx.
Yeah. Does anyone deal with Marcy?
Oh, in-game live ya sekarang ya?
Have a fun time.
The one thing is Sniper is still in the pool. I could see them trying to go for a Sniper on 18 on the
Sambil ngekes apa lar?
So maybe they're
kalau in-game-nya live bisa dong.
For the Sniper, it's a good versus Shadow Fiend. Even though Marcy has so much range, I think Sniper just has more.
Well, the Lich.
I mean,
playoff-nya live in-game. Delay 5 detik gitu. Nggak bisa gue ngekes kalau judi anjing, gue memihak satu pihak anjing. Gas finds a game, bapak lu finds a game. Enggak anjing, gue gak main. Ini kalau playoff live dah, soalnya playoff gak bisa stream step. Kalau misalnya group stage bisa stream step loh. Live anjing! Oh shit, disruptor! Boom ngepick disrupt. Oh fuck, I'm lagging. Bro, Joedi bro!
10 seconds remain. 5
Leveling out, what you came for.
Yeah.
Ini kenapa nge-lag anjing? Enggak, ini kenapa nge-lag anjing? Gue ngapain, Cok? Lah kocak. Udah nggak? Lanjut nge-lag. Lah, sumpah, ngapa gue buka Dota nge-lag anjing? Oh enggak. What, bro? Hello? Iya, gue yang nge-lag tahu.
Impossible.
By the way, gue udah ada ini, Cok. Oh fuck, nge-lag anjing, sumpah ini nge-lag kenapa, cok, bangsat. Masa harus di limit juga FPS-nya Dota? Apa yang pakai ginian anjing? What? PC gue. Oh. PC gue. Aneh anjing. Sumpah aneh ini OBS anjing. Enggak, ini OBS cok, sumpah ini OBS cok. Aneh banget ini OBS cok, kontol. Kenapa anjing? Bro, what the fuck? Masa gue gak bisa main Dota? Pas pakai Streamlab repot anjing, gue ganti settingan lagi ntar. Bentar. What the fuck is this, bro? Sumpah ini enggak ini OBS-nya anjing, ini OBS-nya cok. Ini OBS-nya gue tahu ini OBS-nya anjing. Soalnya kalau gue belum ini semenjak di-update anjing agak aneh cok, kontol OBS tai. Aneh. Setiap kali gue buka Dota gini, cok. Fuck, bro. Kenapa ya? Nge-watch Dota kayak gitu anjing. Tuh langsung nge-lag anjing.
There's no damage. The Mars does nothing. The supports do nothing. The Shadow Fiend, the Lich, right? The Lich is gonna make it so the Shadow Fiend does nothing.
They removed our circle.
There it is, the one that they needed, the faceless void.
Sumpahnya ada apa, cok? Liatin ya, kalau gua batasin FPS-nya, dia langsung normal.
So taking that away now, and boom, one last pick for themselves. They did see True Sight. They decided to ban the Magnus. It's not going to get picked up in this last round.
I think a nice pick would be a safe lane Slardar. He's been run a little.
Oh, that would be so sick, actually.
Can even go an aggro lane.
Go batasin nih FPS-nya ya.
And try and lane versus them.
Oh,
something a little bit more classic.
So it's a either carry Mars or mid Mars.
I'm pretty sure that's a mid Mars.
Gak bisa dinyalain anjing.
See what they decide to go for.
Similar idea. It's something to go through BKB, stuns the Lifestealer. Should lane well versus the Lifestealer. I've actually seen that lane go both ways. Now that the boars don't slow through BKB.
Yes, yeah.
So he can just press rage, kill the boars.
Public chat watch-nya ngaruh nggak? Nggak tahu. Kayaknya ngaruh sih. Tapi itu harusnya in-game gua yang nge-lag kalau itu, bukan di OBS. Ini OBS doang yang nge-lag, di gua nggak.
Could be okay or
some sort of like glue here. I don't know.
Ini gua matiin anjing.
I feel like I want like
Bentar. Sebentar. Sama kayak ini, coy, sama kayak apa? God of War. Bandicam pala bapak kau Bandicam. Bisa nge-cash anjing ini, cok. Playoff ternyata, cok. Tau gitu nge-cash gue, bangsat. Ya, 60 ya. Awas nih sampai lancar nih ya. Awas nih sampai lancar. Demi apa nih OBS-nya anjing kalau ini lancar? Ngentot OBS-nya anjing. Enggak OBS-nya anjing nih.
It's kind of a mini song of the Siren in a sense.
Lancar, cancok.
The fight down and
Beda guys. Babi, pindah sini. Kecilin. Uhuy. Dah.
In that duration, those 6 seconds, those 8 seconds.
Oke. Gua udah ada gini, cok.
15 seconds.
Oh, ini kalau nggak salah.
That's where the Lifestealer is going to get multiple rages off. That's where the Leshrac gets stuns off. It's
diam kamu diam.
He's trying to
Inggris caster apa gue nge-cast dah gitu dah. Udah siap, Cok. Kalau ada Zeus ada ini. Tapi nggak ada Zeus. Nggak ada Zeus. Tapi ada glimpse of us layar. Bosan nama yang sopan santun, ada Ode. Terus kenapa kalau ada Ode anjing? Ode tidak merubah apapun, bro. Ode tidak merubah apapun. Ini keras banget tapi tadi, Cok. Bentar, gue kecilin. Midnya siapa nih? Ode lawan Marsmith. Marsmith. Oh, lawan Lestrak deng, gue kira lawan Ode anjing. Ode offlane. Wait. Ode offlane. Terus yang what the no. Bro, suram, bro. Ini kenapa kayak gini anjing, kenapa geter-geter, Cok? Tai, 60 FPS bullshit. Shit, Ode-nya Ode offline anjing. Ganti kamera.
Make sure that the life sphere gets rage off. And
iya anjing, collapse Ode, what the fuck? Player who gets longest kill streak. Gatoro God. Team with the first Roshan kill, Team Spirit. Fuck Boom. Gak sih Boom sih sebenarnya, pasti Boom anjing. Kalau seandainya dapat dah. Will a tower be killed? Yes. No anjing, gak ada yang bisa. Oh iya, ada bis mas. Enggak bakal. Total number player dead 25 menit tuh 16:25. Enggak. Ya 16:25 dah, aman. Oh, maju, Cok. First blood kah? Manis. Apakah bakal first blood di bawah anjing? Gue udah lama gak nge-cash tapi. Aneh, Cok. Nih, bedanya game pro player sama game-game bocah-bocah autis ya. Gue kasih tahu aja dulu nih. Bocah-bocah autis gak bisa tuh barusan kayak gitu tuh. Ya. Bocah-bocah autis nggak tau lah. Lu nulis apa anjing? Gar. Toronto Tokyo. Oh, lucu. Tenang, bro. Tim sneak kena first blood nih. Siapa yang bakal ketemu nih 5 lawan 5 anjing langsung di bawah, Cok. Enggak, 4 lawan 5, Cok. Enggak ada Beastmaster AFK di mid, Cok. Yopats kena first blood sih ini. Toronto Tokyo enggak dapat? Enggak, collapse yang dapat. Udah collapse mid aja kalau gitu, collapse mid anjing. Udah, Cok, collapse mid, Cok. Apain lu anjing? Oh my god, masih ada ward. Masih coba di fight. Boom tolol, Cok. Goblok. Ya, pulang lu, Boom, pulang. Boom B-nya bandara. My god. Tapi nggak apa-apa, yang penting first blood-nya bukan Toronto Tokyo. Soalnya kalau first blood Toronto Tokyo, Marsnya bener-bener nggak main anjing, langsung dapat botol itu last rock, no hope lah. Cuman karena tidak, tapi collapse juga apa anjing, main meme hammer, Cok, nggak ada fungsinya anjing. Oh my god, last hit. Oh my god, CS lul. Ya dapat. Harusnya last rock menang ya dari match up ini, tapi nggak tahu lagi kalau misalnya Yopats God. Tapi feeling gue enggak sih, Yopats biasa aja, Cok, mainnya, Cok. Nggak ngeri. Gak ada yang lihat stunnya, nge-lag. Nge-lag itu barusan nge-lag ya. Pokoknya FPS-nya bikin nge-lag, Cok, 60, Cok. Gue tambahin dikit bisa nggak? Gue tambahin nge-lag nggak kamu? Enggak. 120 dah, boleh lah. Oke, pas 20 nggak nyampe gue sebenarnya. Collapse di bawah, diperkosa ini, ada Tims, ada Jackie Boys. Tims ngambil skill berapa? Tims ngambil dispose. Jadi agak bahaya, meskipun dispose udah nggak se-OP dulu ya. Dulu dispose nge-stun anjing, sekarang nge-slow doang. Tapi emang Dota zaman sekarang gini anjing, aneh-aneh offline-nya, Cok. Tadi offline silencer, sekarang offline OD gitu. Tapi menurut gue bagusnya OD-nya mid, offline-nya ini, Cok. Apa tuh namanya? Last-Rack. Gue nggak tahu lagi ya. Scam? Dikejar sama Yatoro tapi nggak bakal ada slow. Kencang larinya naik dinosaurus. My god. Gangguin aja pull-pullan nih, ditarik nih belakang. Kemarin gue main offline terlalu lama tuh bikin dominator, gue biasa aja sih kalau lu rip, soalnya lu rank lu tolol gitu kan. Gue ya. Cuma kalau pro player ini main offline silencer, offline OD dan mereka menang, something is wrong bro. Something is I don't know. Mira masih ngedrag creep ya, nggak jadi ngedrag ke belakang soalnya keluar duluan creep wave-nya. Jadi nggak sempat ngedrag ke belakang. Jadi udah habis ini lane bawah cok, dan cancok di kiri kalau lu lihat lasitnya semua dari Boom Esport. Jadi kurang lebih Boom Esport menang lane untuk 2 menit awal ini. Gak tahu ya kelanjutannya gimana, ntar tiba-tiba dibantai sama OD, nobody knows man. Nobody knows. Lama-lama ada offlane creep Kiko, nggak mungkin anjing. CM tuh nggak mungkin. Tadi CM last pick dari Papi gue terkejut, terheran-heran ya kan. Salah. Sorry. Kalau Joji pakai glimpse gue harus mencet itu, cok. Wajib. Mira di bawah, mati kayaknya di sini. Iya, langsung ditarik. Di dispose langsung di race ya kan. Itu race-nya sekarang sangat overpower. Tolol ya, udah nge-slow movement, nge-slow ini juga, cok. Nge-slow movement, nge-slow turn rate ya. Jadi beloknya lama gitu, pelan gitu. Hati itu masih coba digas di atas, FBC digas. Tapi nggak bakal mati. Slow doang karena nggak punya stun apa-apa di atas. Gue tarik lagi, stunnya dari tim Spirit ini minim, cok. Minim banget, cok. Dibanding dari Boom yang punya Spear, ya minim juga sih. Tapi tidaknya masih ada. Jadinya masih aman gitu. Nggak ada stun dikit, nggak apa gitu. Masih ada setup untuk narik-narik orang pakai. Ya lalu gue lagi pengen mencet itu aja, yang sorry ya. Tapi setidaknya ada disruptor ya. Radio sentri luar amas, iya dong. Bentar nih audio in game kayaknya kecil dah. Gue kecilin soalnya bisa. Iya kan benar. Biar war tuh ada suaranya war gitu tuh. Ntar kuping lu pada budek anjing pas suaranya. Dengerin aja tuh. Dengerin static storm brut gitu. Terus ada OD ulti duar, tambah SF ulti duar, tambah teriak gua gitu. Kuping lu budek anjing. Pakai stream deck enggak anjing, pakai numpad. Kira-kira Boom pulang nggak? Boom B-nya bandara tapi di bawah collapse bakal mati lagi. 2 kill dan judi gue 10 kill ke tim Spirit, sepertinya tidak akan menang di sini ya. Udah beli stream deck, pala lu beli stream deck nih. Gak ada stream deck anjing. Pon, skill 2 disruptor apa ya? Udah gak usah mancing gue anjing. Tai. Oh, dicelup. My god. CS lul pakai skill 2 masih gak dapet celup. Coba ini ya, Cok. Lawak banget anjing. Noob banget, Cok. Kalau gini boom B-nya bukan bandara anjing, boom B-nya bagus. Tordo Tokyo di mid lasitnya kalah ya, kebantai sama Yopatch ya. Malu-malu sekali ya. Ini teman juara TI doang anjing. Tahun lalu lu juara TI hoki anjing, lalu lu kalah sama Yopatch bangsat. Yopatch saya kemarin VCD anjing, VC member JKT, what the fuck anjing. Nggak masuk akal. Berarti siap-siap ya lu dipecut Cijes. Enggak dong. Gue nggak percaya aja itu SF. Pon ada skill Dota yang ngebalikin lokasi musuh 2 detik sebelumnya, namanya apa? Nggak tahu kalau 2 detik sih. Kalau 5 detik gue tahu. Kalau 5 detik namanya ya, dari Joji. Kalau 5 detik, kalau 2 detik gue nggak tahu. Oh, Mira, by one. Gak bakal menang by one sama Teams ya. Teams T-nya tumpeng. Jadi tumpeng tuh kan berarti mahal. Berarti kan, ya nggak tahu lah, gue nggak tahu. Mau nyari korelasinya di situ gue nggak nemu tadi. Run? Oke, Run di secure sama Boom. Rotate langsung dua supportnya atas bawah langsung di rotate. Tapi atas Beastmasternya sendirian bisa di setup kill tuh harusnya, Cok. Nggak jadi Yopatch malah yang mau setup kill ke atas, ada scam. Udah langsung nge-scan. Tordo Tokyo nggak ada mana, mati nih, Cok, kalau kena, Cok. Siap-siap nih, scam. Apakah bakal ada vision? Nggak punya mana sama sekali. Nggak punya mana, nggak punya vision malah. Buta ya, nggak bawa ward, tolol anjing, nggak bawa ward anjing. Lu mau ngegeng apaan, kagak bawa ward, tolol ya. Oke. Bawah tapi oke. Tapi kalau dari Lasit sih atas bawah sama-sama aja ya. Dan menurut gua kalau late game late game menang Jackie sih, Cok. Susah sih anjing, soalnya lu life stealer anjing. Benernya gini, SF tuh middle to early to mid tuh magic damage. Oke lah, Jackie Jatoro aman gitu, mid to early to midnya. Tapi late gamenya bubar anjing, dipukulin sama SF gitu kan, diteriakin sama FBG, kontol gitu kan. Gitu, sakit cok. Tapi mau nyoba nge-go, ada glimpse of us, gak jadi keluar glimpse of us karena di cancel. Miposka apakah ada fear? Oh, masih ada, ditarik ke tahun. FBC kayaknya bakal mati di sini, skornya 2-2 dan Judi 10 kill gue masih aman ler ya. Babi ngepetnya juga masih bisa dibunuh. Enggak, kenapa setel lagu sedih anjing? Gak usah setel lagu sedih. Kalau Beastmaster teriak, gua nggak ada sound effect. Ini cok teriak kontol gitu. Gua aja yang teriak dah. Kalau Beastmaster gua teriaknya manual. Dan Tokyo berusaha lasit ya di stupid guy. What the fuck, masih punya DD, awas ada scam. Scam, masih ada glimpse of us. Salah, scam. Masuk ke tengah, oke. Kelihatan nama war jadi masih aman, nggak bakal mati. Mira juga langsung rotate ya. Gak ada fungsinya kayaknya Mira rotate. Iya loh, kena begituan. KRP kena, nggak ada apa-apa tapi nggak ada stun, nggak ada follow up, nggak ada apa-apa. 2 lawan 2 di mid udah kayak Mobile Legend di sini ya. MPL. Ini MPL-nya Dota nih. 8 menit turunnya atas bawah, ada support dari Team Spirit. Siapa mana yang bakal digo? Yang atas kayak bakal digo. Apakah bakal mati di sini Joji digo tapi Mira juga digo. Di bawah Mira lompat Teams mati kayaknya, Mira dipukul sekali meninggal. Dan di atas Joji selamat ya. Kagak dia apa-apain karena lagi-lagi yang gue bilang nggak punya stun Team Spirit ya. No stun. No fucking stun. Stupid anjing ya. Joji aman dari di atas. Untungnya Joji aman. Kalau itu kan trade kill ya. Ini skor 3-2 nih, not looking good bro. Judi gua bro. Impel. Ya apa fungsinya Impel? Apa fungsinya Impel bro? Kalau misalnya tadi ya sudah tuh minim anjing. Impel doang gitu. Impel sama apa Art Splitter gitu. Abis itu apa? Abis itu gak ada gitu. Abis itu lu ya udah gitu. Ya udah gitu ya. Kayak ya udah gitu. Kalau dari boom ya, kalau lu lihat-lihat ya emang dikit gitu kan. Nggak juga sih, Teams punya stun meskipun nggak begitu pasti. Baru gue bilang, nggak begitu pasti. Terus, Primal Beast lah yang pasti, tapi cuma satu orang itu, lockdown. Itu pun ya bagus lah, Spear Spell Immunity lawan LS bagus. Jopatch, tapi tetap yang paling penting menurut gue ya, paling bagus itu stunnya ini sih, stun yang underratednya, stun area sih dari Disruptor ya. Apalagi dia punya. Gak jadi sabar ngomongin Disruptor bakal kena. Stunnya Toro kena. Jatoro juga masuk di situ. Yopatch keluar arena bakal mati di sini. Yopatch teriak keluar. Yopatch selamat. Ada Glim yang menyelamatkan Yopatch di situ. Tokyo masih berusaha lari tapi nggak bisa dapat siapa-siapa. Yopatch selamat. Tai. Kan 10 kill gue nggak bagus ya. 4-2 skornya. Babi. Gue Judi 10 kill cok. Ini kenapa gue nggak mau nge-cash sambil Judi anjing? Gak bagus cok. Dan cok nge-max ngefullinya ini cok glimpse of us anjing tai emang. Azab kagak Indopret kan 10 kill doang anjing. Gue 10 killnya ngebet siapa sih? Team Spirit tadi kayaknya. 10 killnya gue yang gede lagi anjing, bukan game winner anjing. Game winner gue kecil anjing. Weh tapi Judi prediksi gue betul kan? Betul kan? Aman kan? Kalau game winner gue bener, wah rugi tetap cok. Deki boy, dicuri doang, farmingnya para pencuri bro.
See you later, nerds.
Alay. Bentar gua ngecek Judi dulu, cok. Jadi juga Judi apa ya? Fuck, 10 killnya 5. Gua ngebet 5 anjing. Team Spirit 50.000 anjing gua ngebet Team Spirit, cok. Suram, cok. Fuck. Ini kan kalah Judi gua ya. Tapi ini ya, karena game ini pasif. Nih, gua cuman kopium buat diri gua sendiri nih. Karena game ini pasif, ada kesempatan Boom bakal nge-stuck kill ya, karena mereka nunggu cooldown arena. Tapi nggak bisa, Glimpse of Us tuh bagus banget anjing buat 10 kill cok. Coba setupnya skill itu bagus banget anjing buat 10 kill. Dan tadi kan gue nggak ngeliat ya kalau dia bakal ngepick Disruptor gitu. Buat salah, Joji. Kalau dia ngepick Joji gue 10 killnya ke Boom anjing, tapi nggak bisa digeser tadi cok. So it's not looking good for me, brother. I think we lost. Apa yang salah dengan LGD? Xiaobet. Anyways, ini lama banget benerin mouse anjing. Pasti mouse-nya mereknya ini, cok. Ini pasti mereknya, mouse-nya enggak, gua gak mau nyebut merek ah. Karena pun komputernya boom rusak, Spirit pasti win. Yes. Gua gak peduli winnya anjing, gua butuh 10 kill-nya, Cok. Tai. Ayo dong, cepetan dong. Lama banget.
Лишь утратив все до конца, мы обретаем свободу.
Feeling gue ya, ini kalau di strukturnya, kalau collapse masih farming di situ bakal di glimpse. Oke, enggak, collapse sadar diri kata. Mainnya Aganim collapse anjing, nggak main ini cok, nggak main Meteor Hammer. Ada setup glimpse anjing, bahaya cok. Collapse 1 lawan 3 di bawah tapi dia nggak tahu cok. Lihat mati sih collapse di sini harusnya sih. Oh enggak. Oh. Dia tahu. Collapse membaca pikirannya Boom Esport ya kan. Very good. Vortex iya anjing, Vortex. Siang Quattro. El Quattro La Puta Madre. Portretnya Yopat juga kelihatan di Warta. Warta, sumpah. Lu tau gak sih yang gue iri dari Spirit apa? Warta bagus anjing kayak. Ngeliat lu anjing Warta tuh undetectable. Bisa sih detect. Enggak maksudnya Warta tuh naruh Warta tuh di timing yang tidak diperkirakan gitu. Jadi kayak wow, wadididaw lah. Anjay siap santuy lah. Terus kenapa itu, Cok? Dikira ada yang nge-smoke gitu ke situ. Enggak, Cok, goblok. Jangan so iya lu, Bang. Oh, mid setup ke Mira tapi lagi-lagi ke Teams, lagi-lagi yang gue bilang apa enggak ada stun. Teams bakal hoki es batu, lompat sekali lagi es batu. Oke, Teams mati di situ tapi Mimbos kayaknya juga bakal mati. Enggak ada damage dari Yopas. Scam. Nggak ada glimpse of us. Toronto Tokyo baru datang. Mira apakah bakal kena stun ke Yopats? Ayo bisa. Nggak jadi udah. Cukup. Oh ternyata glimpse-nya keluar ke Toronto Tokyo. Gua nggak bakal mencet glimpse of us. Kalau glimpse-nya kalau nggak guna, gua nggak mau nyetel lagunya anjing. Oke? Kalau glimpse-nya nggak guna, gua nggak mau nyetel lagunya. Khusus untuk glimpse yang berguna. Dan oke. Teams balik ke mid, refill botolnya Yopat sudah nggak ada arena sih tapi 4 hero di sini cok. Dede Dina sama Toronto Tokyo lagi-lagi. Langsung static storm ke 3 orang, enggak 2 orang ya Toro masuk tapi apakah bakal selamat di sini? Toronto Tokyo masih selamat, apakah bakal selamat? Enggak cok, tapi trade 1 buat 1 nggak fair cok anjing. Toronto Tokyo ditukar buat sama support ya. Teams baru hidup TP mati tapi ya begitulah. Dan ternyata carry-nya selama ini adalah collapse ya, carry-nya collapse ya. Yang disuruh TP Toronto Tokyo, yang disuruh TP ya Toro ya. Yang farming collapse, tolol anjing. Jackie celup. Kontol. Gue yakinin Jackie sekarang lagi main kontol gitu. Gue gak demen anjing gue dicelup sama OD itu gak ada fungsinya masalah celupnya dia, Cok. Mira, ketemu Jackie boy. Assalamualaikum, papi.
Ну, ребят, это база.
Di taunting bro, dikasih voice chat ya kan. Kasih voice note. Ditelepon juga 24 jam nelponnya. Siapa di sini pernah teleponan 24 jam sama gebetan atau pacar gitu? No life anjing hidup lu ngentot, udah keluar touch grass bro. Korea 54 anjing bikin panik tapi 2000 network ke Team Spirit gara-gara fucking Yatoro God anjing. Ini harusnya yang ini yang baru gua ngomongin aja, harusnya make place bro. Toronto Tokyo and fucking Mira make place ke FBZ di atas gak punya roar anjing. Gak ada Evos roar. Yang ada siapa? Allahu Akbar Mira. Allah! Itu udah di buff. Mira enggak. Mira stupid anjing. Mira stupid enggak anjing. Better Aura Mira yang main bangsat ya. Ex-member JKT48 yang transfer ke Aura Esport babi daripada Mira yang itu tolol anjing, stupid as fuck, no brain anjing, kontol. Goblok banget stunnya nggak kena anjing. Yopat dapat Investron lagi. Gue bingung nih, Team Spirit nunggu timing sih, harusnya nunggu cooldown apa sih namanya? Ultinya Nix tuh gue lupa anjing. Vendetta. Sorry. Yopat di bawah tapi kelihatan cok. Ketahuan kayaknya collapse, sumpah, enggak, gua nggak tahu ya ini collapse ke-cheat atau emang tadi ketahuan di ward gitu. Yopas tuh invest anjing, gimana cara lu tahu, Cok? I don't know. Oh, Yatoro mencuri creepnya lawan dan tim akan di sini langsung masih sempat Teams ada damage-nya tapi udah Yatoro udah nggak save lagi, masih ada lompat, ada. Dan Jatoro bakal mati, di poskan kayak juga bakal ngikut mati. Ada es batu keluar, pindah ke Jackie sama Scam. GB es batu di sini, pindah ke FBZ, pindah ke Teams, pindah ke siapa lagi? Nggak ada yang mati, ternyata dibagi-bagi rata 7-4 skornya. Gua kalah 10 kill. Sangat-sangat GG. Kenapa gue sangat-sangat tidak percaya dengan pada Boom Esport ya kan? Kontol. Boom Esport kan B-nya bagus ya. Dan yang gue nggak expect apa? Last pick OD anjing, itu stupid bangsat. Smoke dari Boom. Nggak ketahuan sih harusnya, tapi di break kayaknya sama Mira di sini. Ada sentry nggak di situ? Iya lo, ada sentry. Mira keciduk. Assalamualaikum, papi. Hai, papi. Cam. Dasa keluar, tapi Mira nggak kena. Tadi last pick CM lu bilang stupid juga tapi menang. Iya, masalah CM. Tau lah, bingung lah. Last pick OD anjing. TI winner decision, TI winner decision tuh harusnya upper bracket anjing. TI winner lower bracket, malu ngentot. Oke. Boom kayaknya mau nge-fight di sini. Ada Jatoro dikagetin sih di ulti scam sih, harusnya naik HG langsung matiin. Wah, dicelup tapi apa bisa dicelup, masih bisa dicelup sama collapse. Arena keluar, dagger kena. Jatoro masih keluar, masih bisa nge-save. Apakah masih bisa nge-save collapse? Ada ulti nggak? Ada ulti, selamatin dulu temen lu anjing. Jatoro kontol, masuk ke temen lu anjing, masuk ke temen lu. Nah, ulti Jatoro ada ya nggak? Collapse nggak ada ulti, nggak ngambil ulti karena orangnya tolol banget. Di sini Mira juga bakal datang, ada stun follow abis ini harusnya mati juga. Nih, Teams juga mati. Marcy M-nya memek anjing ya. Collapse akhirnya ngambil ulti dan udah ada Aghanim ler. Udah ada Aghanim menit 16 ya. Sangat-sangat wow. Wadididau walidau. Skornya 7-6, ayo 4 kill lagi bisa Team Spirit. Kamu lagi kuat di sini Team Spirit, punya Aghanim di OD ya. Dan gak ada arena bro selama beberapa detik nih. 40 detik gak ada arena, gas. Ambil tower mid, ambil tower atas, semuanya bro. Ambil, bantai, kasih tahu 4 kill, jangan ada yang mati. Please ya Allah, selamatkanlah hambamu. FBZ motong-motong pohon di sini melakukan illegal logging ya, illegal logging seperti para pengusaha di Kalimantan yang membuka lahan untuk sawit. Tower mid akhirnya hancur karena ada Tower Tokyo dan Life Stealer obviously. Very easy bro, tower, oh my god. Dan Team Spirit balik. Ngapain balik anjing? Bro, it's time to fucking go. Find Shadowfin, go kill. Buy smoke, go kill. Bayar utang, go nggak itu meme Thailand anjing. Kerja bayar utang gitu. Oh, SF muncul. Celup. Kontol. Takut banget anjing. Makanya pasang ward, ngentot. Immortal doang kagak pasang ward. Oh, kalau dibuat farming anjing. Jeki udah mau BKB, cowok. Kalah ntar, cowok. Kalau Jeki udah BKB, cowok. Pakai pasti kalah, cowok. Terus gue kalah 10 kill anjing kalau lu Jeki BKB anjing. Oh, ada ward di situ bisa gue. Kelihatan tuh 4 hero di mid, cowok. Atasnya sendirian berarti. Tuh ward ngeliat 4 hero di mid, coy. Yang benar saja kamu. Oke. Dan Team Spirit memilih untuk AFK. Smoke nih kayaknya bentar lagi. Jatoro kelihatan di ward, bisa-bisa di go. Enggak, tapi nggak ada follow up, ada roar doang sih. Evos roar sama damage-nya. 4-man smoke dari Team Spirit, ini dia. Bakal ketemu sama Jatoro di bawah. FBC kelihatan barusan. Tapi ada Hawk, oh kena scout sama Hawk. Ada Hawk di sini nih. Tuh, kalau lu ngeliat ada titik warna biru itu, ya itu ada Hawk. Smoke-nya kelihatan dari keciduk sama burung dara ya. Ini burung dara enaknya nyambung terus. Dan di mid Toronto Tokyo bakal nge-show. Enggak nge-show. Tapi harusnya sadar. Yo patch Invis run. Rosan dipukul sama SF. SF-nya udah BKB soalnya anjing. Jadi dia merasa paling kuat dan ke-scan. Kayaknya di sini 10 kill-nya di sini dan gue bakal kalah 10 kill. Lu percaya nggak? Karena apa? Boom bakal nge-kill 3 duluan, terus Team Spirit baru ngebantai 5 orang mati anjing. Jadi kayak kalah duluan 10 kill lah gitu, meskipun sebenarnya menang gitu. Alah kontol lah tai. Inisiasinya dari Yopas di sini. Yopas sudah ada Blink Dagger kalau nggak salah tadi. Maaf kalau salah. Yopas Blink Dagger. No, never mind. Yopas BKB duluan ternyata. Pada BKB duluan karena ngelawan Lesrak dan OD. Jadi pikirannya apa? BKB is good. Padahal sebenarnya nggak begitu good. Kenapa nggak good? Lu abis ngebuka BKB nih, temen-temennya ditelup sama collapse gitu. Sia-sia BKB lu anjing. Jadi, oke. Kita lihat apakah akan terjadi sebuah pertikaian darah di sini. 20 menit belum 10 kill. Ini sangat-sangat pasif gamenya. Karena BO1 ya, sama-sama main aman. Jadinya ya begini. Toronto Tokyo ngebet, aduh ada double damage diambil sama Jackie Boy. Lu nggak mau nge-fake SFDD anjing. Enggak. SFDD BKB itu gimana cara nge-fake-nya anjing? SFDD, cok. Masuk Rosan lagi. Ada Roar lagi. Evos Roar. Ada BKB lagi. Ada burung lagi. Burungnya at least hilang. Dan oh my god, itu damage apa anjing? Rosannya bakal dikasih ke tim Spirit, ke Boom Esport maksudnya. Tim Spirit nggak bakal nge-fake, kayaknya harus cari pick off di pinggir gitu dah kalau mau menang. Dan iya, Gaben ingin Boom Esport menang ya guys. Gua gak terima sih, cok. Gaben ingin Boom Esport menang, gua gak terima, cok. Mau di fight di sini sama tim Spirit yang bener aja lu anjing. Itu ada BKB, ada Aegis, kentot. At least predik lu bener. Iya, tapi predik yang itu nggak ngasih duit anjing. Predik yang gua judi tuh ngasih duit anjing. Mira sama Jatoro nyari kill di sini. Aman sih, bawah nggak ada sentry sama sekali, harusnya bisa sih. Oh, ke-scan tapi ada Yopats ada BKB juga. Gue nggak butuh Rosan kedua ketiga anjing, gue butuh 10 kill. Gue nggak peduli sama predik yang di Dota itu, gue nggak peduli. Yang penting 10 killnya karena gue judi juga. Fuck. Tapi 2K Network masih ke tim Spirit dari mana? Oh, dari support ya kayaknya. Dari mana anjing? Core-nya kalah, cok. Imbang sih. Menang dikit sih itu. Ini Ode sama Dismaster. Dan ini gamenya pasif banget anjing, kayak main LOL bangsat. Pasif banget. Pasif sekali ya. Ini masih belum terjadi apa-apa sepertinya. Selama 18 menit, 22 menit ini. Rosannya Aegis farming. FBZ di mid? Enggak ada apa-apa. Jadi ini game yang sangat-sangat pasif. Habis ini perang. Mending kita dengerin lagu dulu. Nggak jadi. Jangan dengerin lagu karena ada 4-man smoke tapi di bawah ward. Lagi-lagi di bawah ward nge-smoke-nya, jadi ketahuan, terciduk ya kan. Wardnya ngedodge, ini tim Spirit bakal ngedodge anjing. Nongkrong di bawah tier 2 ya, babi. Toronto Tokyo yang disikat di atas tapi TP. Enggak, bukan Toronto Tokyo yang TP, ya Toronto Tokyo. Oke. Mau nge-fight di atas katanya 5 lawan 5 nggak takut ler. No pussy di bawah tower tier 2. Apakah bakal di fight? Observer udah taruh duluan di Posca. Smoke-nya nge-break. Yopas juga smoke-nya break, tiba-tiba nge-lag. Kenapa nge-lag? Oke, ternyata internet saya yang nge-lag. Tapi belum terjadi fight apa-apa karena cuma towernya doang dan mereka berdua balik. Gue disuruh nonton apa ngentot? Gue disuruh nonton apa ya Allah? Gue disuruh nonton apa kalau kayak gini anjing? Ah, smoke lagi dari Boom Esport dan Yatoro sekarang yang bakal nge-show, bakal di-roar apa enggak? Di sini ada dagger nggak sih si anjing? FBC nggak ada dagger, jadi Yatoro aman, masih ada skill 1. Nggak jadi nge-fight dan ngedodge lagi, kabur. Scam muncul, digas, nggak. Kabur lagi. Pasang ward, kabur. Oh, sabar. Yopats punya dagger, bisa inisiasi. Jackie udah butterfly, cok, nggak bisa mati anjing Jackie, cok. Tutor bunuh Jackie. Aegis expired 1 menit 20 detik. Lagi adu smoke sama di ward, betul. Apakah Yatoro bakal menjadi Yatoro? Enggak dong. Yatoro kayaknya bakal digas di sini, ada scam. Ya. FBZ siap-siap ngeror. Roar Dilan roar. Oke, nggak jadi. Oke, jadi diror Dilan, tapi apakah bisa diselamatin oleh Collapse masih penyelesaian nyelamatin enggak? Selamat keluar ke Boska akhirnya mati. S1 juga udah keluar, BKB keluar semua. Ya Toro masih berusaha selamat, ya Toro enggak ada apa-apa, ya Toro meninggal. Toro di tengah-tengah semuanya masih ada BKB, Toro selamat, BKB-nya keluar, BKB TP, ada glimpse of us. Enggak jadi enggak guna glimpse of us. Cancel, enggak ada glimpse of us. Satu mati. Di setup siapa lagi? Collapse bakal di setup juga, bakal nyelup diri sendiri lagi enggak karena kena Sensan dan 10 kill gua kalah. Ngentot. Oh gitu gua nge-bet boom anjing ya, bet boom. Bukan tim kayak eliminasi maksudnya, tapi ya saya rugi. Ini kalau kalah juga gua rugi lagi nih anjing, rugi 8 gua anjing. Dua kanan turret buat boom dan Aegis masih ada dan masih utuh. Dan cok SF-nya giliran SF-nya dipegang Sea bagus ya. Emang anjing emang. Emang tai emang. Kan udah di-curse sama Kyle gitu ya. Kenapa nggak kalah gitu? Gue udah percaya sama Kyle ini, cok. Kyle mengecewakan gue. Berarti gue harusnya nggak percaya Kyle. Gak apa-apa, at least menang gamenya ya. Biar gue gak terlalu rugi lah. Gue cuma rugi 5 lah. Ya 4 gue cuma rugi 4 anjing kalau gamenya nggak. Kalau gamenya menang. Tapi nggak bisa bunuh SF anjing. Ya Toro nggak bisa bunuh SF cowok. Butuh MKB bangsat. Kalau nggak ya itu mukul-mukul angin lu. Atau SF-nya di-cut bisa sih, dicelup ya kan, di gitu. Pokoknya BKB-nya di kite lah. Lu game win Team Spirit, iya. Burung dikirim, Yopats bisa lompat, ada Arcane Rune juga, bisa ngegas ini. Tapi enggak bakal ngegas. Nongkrong di triangle aja. Tekan tower tier 2 di mid, nggak ada apa-apa. Sumpah tahi anjing. Kenapa tim 10 kill-nya kalah gitu, gue gak terima anjing. Jackie boy. Udah BKB semua anjing nih, boom cok. Yang susah dari Team Spirit apa? Mancing BKB-nya musuh. Sebenarnya kuncinya gitu. Jadi kalau lu ngeliat ke Nisha tadi di Secret, kenapa Secret mainnya bagus meskipun musuhnya udah BKB? Karena mereka bisa ngebait BKB-nya gitu. Dan dari Spirit sekarang ini gak ada yang bisa ngebait BKB anjing. Susah nih mau ngebait BKB tanpa komit masuk gitu. Satu-satunya cara menang fight gitu soalnya. Lu bisa ngebait BKB-nya musuh, udah musuh gak punya BKB, Laser tinggal free tengah selamat gitu, ngekill easy. Ya, kayaknya ini nggak bakal kayak gitu karena ya susah anjing mau mancing BKB tapi harus komit tuh susah cok. Kurang Collapse bakal dibunuh dan nge-smoke juga Team Spirit. Ada di bawah ward. Ada ward di situ maksudnya, bukan di bawah ward. Mira nyari musuh kah? Bro, jangan nyari musuh. FBC langsung lari BKB dan keluar juga roarnya ya. Roar, Evos, roar. Ada, oke, nggak guna. Karena skillnya nggak guna, kita tidak menggunakan lagu. Kalau skillnya berguna, kita pakai lagu. Oh, dapat Pokcam 250 gold, easy bro, easy money lah. Tapi bener cok, kalau lu bisa ngeburst, kalau Team Spirit bisa ngeburst SF, Boom nggak punya damage. Oke, siapa yang bakal muncul di sini? Dyer nge-scan merah sebentar, tapi habis itu hilang. Ada FBC di samping, tower 1 di kiri. Kiri. Tower. Kelihatan nggak? Kelihatan nge-pop smoke-nya. Mira bakal ngeblink nggak? Enggak anjing. Karena muncul di bawah ward. Fuck lah. Di bawah tower maksudnya, dan gagal lagi gengnya Team Spirit. Ini sangat-sangat menurunkan moral ya. Kalau lu kalah geng, nggak dapet geng tuh nurunin moral anjing. Lama-lama lu kesel anjing, kayak ini musuh kenapa bisa baca gerakan gua mulu yang ngentot, apa wardnya di mana-mana anjing gitu, kayak kesel gitu. Dan Rosan nge-spawn kenceng banget anjing. Rosan fast respawn nih, pokcam banget. Tapi Boom juga tahu gara-gara ada burung ya, burung titit. Burung titit tua. Enggak nabung MKB ya si Toro, enggak anjing. Itu burungnya ngeliat OD enggak? Enggak. Kan tadi nge-smoke. 4000 net worth lead, 30 menit, 16 kill. Sangat-sangat pasif game ini, tidak seperti game-game sebelumnya. Anjing, Jackie Titan Sliver gimana cara bunuhnya anjing? Satanic Titan Sliver BKB Butterfly. SF nggak bisa mati, dah. SF nggak bisa mati. Pokoknya, tapi kalau BKB-nya ke pop bisa mati sih. Dia lagi Satanic dicelup gitu sama collapse itu bisa, Cok. Sama-sama nge-smoke, lagi-lagi sama-sama nge-smoke. Mira, kebuka smoke-nya. Ngelihat ada teams dan di D-ward itu langsung panik, Cok. Initiate retreat. Dicelup OD bisa di debuff pakai Satanic, gak bisa. Bad item apa bad apaan? Bad item dong. Oh, nggak di follow up karena masih ada BKB dan nggak ada follow up harusnya itu. Nggak dagger ya last track ya. Last tracknya nggak dagger, Cok, makanya nggak bisa. Sore Rehan. GG spoiler, boom 1-0 tim Spirit menit 43. Wow. Terus game 2 gimana, Gar? Game 2, Gar? Rosan lagi-lagi, Jackie Boy udah masuk Rosan, nggak bisa diapa-apain anjing karena boom masih lengkap skillnya, Cok. Kan BO1. Oh, gue kira lo nggak tahu anjing, makanya gue mancing tadi, Cok. Bahaya ini, Cok. Rosan kedua anjing ada shard, Cok. Jackie nggak bisa. Wah, jancok Mira. Maju-maju dikit-dikit. Jatoro masih di tengah jauh banget ini. Rosan udah mau jatuh, Cok. Dan gratis lagi-lagi boom kedua. Mira, apakah bakal dapat Aegisa? Enggak dapat. Nggak dapat apa-apa malah. Hampir aja tadi. Hampir aja. Timing udah pas Mira, cuman kurang maju dikit gitu, kena glimpse of us dia ya. Dan Jackie Boy Rosan kedua dipegang. Lu udah ada Satanic ya kan? Ada Aegis, gimana cara mati? Nggak tahu gua. Nggak tahu, gua nggak ngerti caranya Jackie. Nggak, wow. Gua nggak tahu gimana caranya tim Spirit comeback anjing kalau kayak gini, Cok. Jackie nggak bisa dibunuh anjing. Kayak damage utama lu tuh dari life stealer dan lu nggak bisa ngehit life stealer, Cok. Kenapa tadi Mira kena ini? Ya. Sepertinya Kyle Curse tidak work pada manusia-manusia botak ya. Ini sebenarnya adu kekuatan, Ler. Jadi curse-nya Kyle sama kekuatan botak di TI. Siapa yang menang? Ternyata sementara ini yang menang sih kekuatan botak ya. Dan feeling gue tidak bakal tahun ini nggak bakal ada yang juara beruntun kayak OG. Karena ya seperti yang Anda lihat juara beruntunnya mau pulang ya. Nggak guna. Kalau kena crush RTC ya itu masih lebih tebel lagi tuh crush RTC. Dicelup, maka ada follow up. Jackie kena stun sekali doang. Udah, maka ada follow up. Dicelup lagi. Apakah ada follow up? Nggak ada. Dicelup-celup doang, ya kan? Ntar dicelup-celup doang, tiba-tiba collapse, mananya 3000 di ulti bubar satu tim anjing. Lucu sih kalau gitu jadi Dota WTF moment. Tapi sepertinya tidak. Karena Boom Esport main aman karena di BO1 lagi-lagi ya, gue ulangin ini BO1. Dan sudah 34 menit. Dan Yatoro masih belum bikin MKB, Ler, kontol. Habis menang lawan tim Spirit, Boom PR-nya botak semua. Enggak, Cok. Jadi gini, Boom nih kalau menang lawan tim Spirit, dia setiap menang satu ronde lower bracket botak satu pemain. Kan hari ini yang udah botak scam. Besok kalau hari ini menang, besok yang botak yang lain gitu. Yopach atau siapa gitu. Sampai masuk grand final. Sampai botak semua udah dah kalah abis itu. Bisa gitu sih. Weh, ini 5 lawan 2 nih. Yakin lu Team Spirit mau nge-fight? Kayaknya nggak yakin sih Team Spirit bakal nge-fight di sini. Mundur aja, bro, dikejar sama naga hitam, ya kan? Naga hitam. Dan muncul juga setan dari besi. Bangsat. Bro, ini gimana caranya menang, bro? Gue tidak melihat jalur kemenangan untuk Team Spirit di sini dan kayaknya gue bakal minus 8, bro. Apakah di sini ada yang mau menggantikan minus 8-ku? Bolehlah lewat saweda.co/ponjepon, bolehlah. Ini gue mendukung Boom melalui jalur ngebet lawannya karena ada juga yang namanya Japon Curse ya. Japon Curse. Lu kalau nggak tahu Japon Curse, ini gue kasih tahu, Ler. Gue ngebet tim mana yang menang pasti kalah, cok. Gak percaya, gue tadi ngebet Iji menang 2-0. Ternyata apa yang terjadi? Iji kalah 2-0. Sekarang gue ngebet Team Spirit menang. Siapa yang menang? Boom. Tadi gue juga ngebet ini, cok, Hokori game winner. Siapa yang menang? Biskos. Berarti ya ada Japon Curse di sini ya. Bermain peran. Jadi gue secara tidak langsung mendukung bahwa Boom Esport menang. Terima kasih. Tolong Kogeri ongkir. Tokyo, kebenaran lagi ada shot nggak? Nggak ada shot sih. Lagi-lagi masih dicicil-cicil doang, 40 detik lagi, cok, guys, cok. Cok, damage-nya 400, anjing. Cok, lu lihat buff-nya, cok. Wah, goblok, anjing. BKB keluar dari Yopas, bakal langsung kena roar juga. Apakah bisa? Masih ada save dicelup dari OD. Yang bakal mati siapa? Mira yang mati. Yatoro masih sempat keluarin skill 1 dan nggak mati. Nggak tahu gimana caranya dia nggak mati, tapi nggak mati. Dan cuma dapat power 3 dan langsung balik karena Aegisnya sudah mau expired. Wow, refresher juga keluar tadi dari Mars, jadi masih ada lagi ulti untuk double BKB doang tadi refreshernya. Bangsat. (37 menit 17 kill). Gimana kalau kita main CS aja anjing? Udah kayak skor CS anjing. Ini satu tim fight ya. Nih, percaya sama gue dah. Satu tim fight mati gak ada buyback, GG call. Oke? Satu tim fight ada yang kena team wipe, satu call. Bisa gitu, cok. Scam. Oh, nge-set up Toronto Tokyo di sini, tapi masih ada BKB Toronto Tokyo. Kalau ada follow up dari Yopat bisa kayaknya Toronto Tokyo. Tangannya kenceng banget, ada glimpse of us tapi nggak berguna karena Toronto Tokyo pakai BKB. Wow. Itu tangannya kenceng. Dokter Tirta memang beda. Udah, tangannya Dokter Tirta tuh tangan dokter, Ler. Tidak gemeteran ya. Tangannya stabil gitu. Makanya dia kenceng gitu langsung. Gila. Toronto Tokyo selamat dari skill apa? Dari spear ya, spear of apa sih namanya? Spear of Mars ya, selamat dari Spear of Mars. Gak ada. Apa lu memancing gue glimpse of us? Gak ada. Bet siapa lu, Pon? Gua karena gue mendukung Boom ID, gue ngebet Team Spirit, Ler, biar kalah. Lagi-lagi mukulin tower, dicelup. Sekarang bakal mau nyoba di set up, tapi ada sentry di situ. Kira bakal ketahuan, kelihatan setannya kena stun. Apakah bakal ada follow up di sini? Enggak, masih ada roar, Evos roar, Jackie sempat BKB dan sempat juga mengeluarkan Satanic. Yatoro bakal mati, dipukul Yatoro mana? Masih kecelup, Yatoro masih jalan sebentar, tapi kamu bisa selamat? Enggak bisa selamat. Akhirnya mati Yatoro, nggak ada buyback, 2 mati. Team Spirit 3 lawan 5 nggak bakal bisa di sini, udah ada BKB. Jancok Dede juga Jackie boynya, gimana caranya lu ngedev? Nggak ada caranya, dicelup lagi. Team Spirit sepertinya akan pulang ya. Bangsat Yopats masih ada ulti, masih ada spear, masih ada BKB juga. Masih lengkap, bro, masih lengkap. Nggak ada BKB, ada refresher 10 detik lagi, refresher 40 detik nggak ada Yatoro God, nggak ada Mira God, Mira God, Mira dog shit. Dicelup-celup aja, manja sama kolaps gak ada BKB bisa dilakukan sama Jobat. Coba sini mau ngincar siapa? Ngincar pocong gaming, pocong langsung mati 1 hit doang meninggal. Salah 2 hit itu juga OD 2 hit meninggal. GG sepertinya di sini kawan-kawan. Congratulations to Bumi Esport ya sebelum semuanya di call GG, tapi belum di call GG. Turut-turutnya masih kena glitch. Mana giginya mana giginya mana gigi halo oi gigi kontol oi halo sepertinya masih mau mencoba try hard di sini. Yopats berusaha salah Toronto Tokyo berusaha menahan game ini 1 lawan 3. Apakah bisa di sini Mira maju ke depan melawan SF langsung pakai ulti hampir push dan ada insane di sini akan hancur. GG. Thanks. Ya, dibilang thanks sama scam anjing, lu kena scam anjing. 18-7 ya. Dan judi gua kalah ya. Mau lihat lu judi gua kalah ya. Judi gua kalah guys, ya. Kalah. Harusnya tadi gua ngebet boom ya, tapi karena gua mendukung boom, gua tidak ingin boom kalah, jadi gua harus ngebet lawannya gitu. Oke? Bener kan? Kalkers enggak. Botak lebih kuat anjing, botak gua jamin botak lebih kuat anjing. Oke, lanjut. Fnatic lawan Gaming Gladiator. Wah, cancok kalau ini gua no hope anjing. Ini nonton Twitch dulu, perbacotan Twitch orang Inggris, Cok. Game winner ngebet Team Spirit. Iya, dibilangin game winner ngebet Team Spirit, babi emang ya.
Underdog, that's for sure. Throughout this match, I feel like they sort of set the tempo a lot through this game. They understood that.
Abis ini yang botak Yopats.
And with that, we're gonna head on back to the studio. Team Spirit eliminated.
Yang ngiref BC tai.
Indeed, Boom control the game and control the narrative, and they are moving on to game 2. And
gua translate dah.
Defending
kontol memek basah, kontol.
And you know, so much to talk about when it comes to draft, the lane moving, the
babi.
So we can start with
lalu kontol.
The draft,
ngebet.
Was like
Team Spirit winner kotolol tuh. Itu translatean langsung ler.
You know, we're just
ya, lu pada juga nggak boleh ngelihat lu pada nggak boleh ngelihat ini ya, nggak boleh ngelihat siapa namanya Sipo. Kaisang udah di depan rumah. Gak apa-apa. Tidak rugi banyak. Gak rugi banyak ler. Alhamdulillah. Gak rugi banyak. Alhamdulillah gak rugi banyak. Tadi gue dikirimin ini anjing bangsa banyak banget kontol. Bikin pusing anjing jumlahnya, Cok. Gak rugi banyak, main. Kita hanya rugi 3. Aman.
One of the big fights and turnarounds and various saves, but
nice, bro.
Sorry, Lizard, you wanted to get
Profit aja pun dari donasi, iya dong. Anjing lu kata. Next. Fnatic versus Gaming Gladiator, I don't know man.
Right now he cannot do that, and what's also difficult is
itu Jackie selamat dari ultinya Ode anjing. Kalau Jackie kena ultinya Ode nggak mati, Cok. Mati dia, Cok.
Then you can't be saved, so it was really difficult to execute.
Hari ini sisa berapa match? Sisa 2 ya. RNG sama Gaming Gladiator. Sabar kita lihat judi bracket gue bener, Cok, 1 bener, 2, 3. Wow, Jepon jago sekali. Lu lihat anjing, gue di sini dukung Boom ler. Gue kasih tahu ler ya. Lu jangan bullshit ler. Nih, gue dukung Boom di sini ler. Ini gue salah nih. Gue kira Iji bakal menang, enggak. Gue bener dukung Secret bener, Biskos bener, Boom bener, Fnatic bener, Entity bener. Gue kasih tahu sama lu ya. Gue kasih tahu ya. Lu kenapa bad spirit kalau gitu? Kan gue udah bilang, gue tuh nge-bad spirit biar Boom yang menang gitu. Kontol ya. Nih, terus kenapa gue nge-badnya di sini LGD? Karena LGD. Harusnya enggak. Gini, LGD itu slow start ler. Di grup kemarin dia slow start kan. Day 1 dia lawak kan. Day 2-nya enggak kan. Lagi-lagi di playoff juga gitu ntar dia. Day 2-nya enggak main-main dia day 2-nya. Terus kenapa gue bilang LGD kalah sama Tundra? Enggak, ini kalau ini gue udah ngarang nih, udah ini pokoknya melewati batas upper bracket round 1 sama lower bracket round 2 ini gue ngarang, oke? Jadi ini ke kanan nih gue ngarang nih udah. Gue nggak tahu dah, ini ke kanan ngarang semua nih gue. EG menang di sini tuh gue ngarang anjing. Ini udah klik asal klik dah, oke? Dan yang menang Liquid nih gue literally ngarang anjing. Nih, kenapa yang menang Liquid? Karena gue berpikir gini, Cok. Matum Bamban kasihan, Cok. Tahun ini terakhir TI setidaknya dia menang 2 kali lah, bisa lah gitu. Sejujurnya kalau dari logika gak masuk akal. Tapi ya udah. Coba ya. Yo patch anjing. Ya nge-lag, Cok. Ya di banned, Cok.
I think just play our own style and yeah, we're just happy to beat the defending champion and we didn't expect anything. So
kok suara Yopas gitu ya? Gue kira suara Yopas lebih berat dikit gitu aja. Kok suaranya kayak ya, we just happy to be with the defending champion kayak.
Thinking about it and like just play, no pressure. So yeah, we're not thinking about the crowd at all.
Well, it worked really well for you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Back to you guys.
Suara Yopas ini anjing. Tempreng, Cok. Kecewa gue.
I love interviews like that because like they are here just to play Dota. You know what I mean? That is their focus. And sure, there are moments, you know, because where they are now, and then of course, you know, for the final weekend, you know.
Kayak orang Thailand anjing. Iya, kayak orang Thailand anjing. Pelabelahalai, sama lalahai. Saplolalahai lo. Lu pada nggak usah ngeliat, jangan ngeliat Sipo, jangan ngeliat Sipo, ntar sange. Apalagi kalau ada yang namanya Ciaki tuh ngeliat Sipo sange, Cok. On info nama web VCN JKT. Nih, nama webnya jkt48.com, bangsat. Ini nama webnya jkt48.com tuh. Babi. Terus tiap bulan tuh ada yang kayak gini nih. Tiap bulan tuh ada JKT48 digital photo book bullshit ini nih. Nih. Kalau ada apapun, pokoknya tiap bulan beda-beda judulnya. Tapi intinya ada JKT48 digital photo book, itu lu klik. Nah, terus lu beli dah, serah dah. Kalau ada duit dah beli. Tapi jangan lupa daftar dulu sama beli JKT Point. Intinya seperti itu, Brady.
I'm not sure if we know exactly who Boom will be facing off against yet, but they've got 2 big victories under their belt. You know, one in the group stages was EG, but this is the one that obviously matters with Team Spirit. But I really love their draft, and I kind of want to focus a little bit, if I can ask, on Disruptor.
Photobook dapat apaan? Gak jelas photobooknya, jujurnya. Ini sebenarnya ya, Lar. Sejujurnya ya. Sejujurnya ya. Ini tuh jual VC, bonusnya photobook. Tapi kalau gitu, VC itu apa yang dijual gitu? Nggak ada barangnya gitu. Jadi yang mereka jual dibalik sama dia, photobook bonus VC, which is bullshit anjing. Boom PSG, bad boom biar PSG lolos. Iya dong, jelas dong. Gue berkurang anjing jumlah ini, kapan nih gue ngebet 700 anjing giga, Cok. Lu sejak kapan jadi wota bangsat? Nggak tahu. Nggak bisa dong, Kalkers nggak berlaku kalau buat tim saya. Loh, kan bukan Kalkers anjing, Widianto Kers. Kers gue bangsat.
Gaming Gladiators joining the stage, and yeah, you might want to keep oh, it's Ace. I remember him. Hello, Ace. And you have to give a counter of how.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that fat guy, bro? Tadi lu kemarin dapat fotobook, dapat anjing nih, mau lihat fotobook.
Bracket game, best of 1, Fnatic.
Sangat-sangat tidak jelas. Tuh. Bener-bener gak fungsi anjing kayak. Apa fungsi lu dapat ini anjing? Ini yang kemarin yang bulan lalu nih. Iya gini doang, makanya kan gue bilang nggak fungsi ngentot. Kalau berwarna lebih mahal, nggak tahu anjing, nggak ngerti gue dah. Ikut-ikut gue.
And anything can happen, and that's really the magic of TI, and that's what we saw recently with the Team Spirit versus Boom Esports game. What's likely to happen?
Bro, ini siapa, bro?
We can predict. And Lizard,
kenapa ada ini anjing? Fuck, siapa sih namanya?
We need more Lizard.
Itu anjing yang cat sendok tuh.
For gaming gladiators, this is.
Fungsinya biar bisa BC. Iya anjing, jujur fungsinya biar bisa BC sebenarnya.
Well, the stack has been around. If you look at them, they have.
Ayo coy, gimana coy Fnatic gaming gladiator? Gue percaya Fnatic sejujurnya ini. Sebenarnya gue percaya Fnatic anjing gaming gladiator jelek mainnya bangsa.
I expect a ton from them.
Yeah, the amount of times that the Gladiators guys said in interviews, it's like, we're the guys that no one cared about us, so we made a team, and they've, at least in Europe, throughout the entirety of DPC, they've been a strong staple at just dominating, at least being consistently in the top bracket of our region. And of course, this TI showing, it hasn't been the best so far, and they're in the lower bracket. And it kind of also feels the same for like Fnatic. Fnatic have consistently been the top SEA, but now they're here. So I think both teams, strong SEA, strong EU, it's a very even matchup for this best of one.
Yeah, 2 wins out of the group stage for Gaming Gladiators. Fnatic actually came out with 3 wins, 3 ties, and 3 losses. And how would you kind of explain Fnatic as a team, Sheep?
Fnatic are inconsistent. You say they're at the top of the sea, but honestly, like they've struggled. Like this year has been Boom's year in terms of like in the region competition. Fnatic sometimes will eke out that like top spot and then just as quickly lose it. They struggle.
Tadi bisa nyuri satu game sama.
In the past, the same way
Oh, tapi ini di ini sih. Kita draft.
I think Gaimin are also feeling that sort of pressure. And for Fnatic, they definitely have the skill. We've seen that in the games that they've taken from the top teams in this tournament in group stage.
Mereka kalahnya kalah sama OG anjing malu cok kalah sama OG cok.
I like the pep talk. And I like the storyline as well because you're
saying Fnatic naik turun tapi maksudnya
higher highs maybe than their opponents. As in when Fnatic are on, are they a scarier team than Gaming Gladiators? Yeah, you say they're inconsistent, but you also say they can
destroy, yeah, for sure. I mean, Gaming also had a really amazing start to this year, right? So I think both teams maybe at their highs this year could be comparable.
All right. And is there any players that you would want us to keep an eye on?
Pas match ada terusannya, iya tahu ada ini ya kan ngobrol apa komunikasinya kan.
Offlane Joe, Ace and Tofu. They went from playing in a little mixed stack in EU from Hellbest matches, then they got picked up to join the Gladiators, and I think this combination unlocked Gladiators just to playing new styles, like the strength of the.
Lu tau gak sih pattern yang gue liat di sini apa? Fnatic gak pernah menang game 1 anjing.
I mean, for Ace at least it's been the like.
Fnatic gak pernah menang game 1 cok. Dan ini BO1 anjing.
Ex carry player moving to offlane, so if there's a bit of farm to be had, he'll turn that offlane hero into that kind of like 2.5 here, that 2. Suddenly it's got a bit more priority on the map.
And if you can remember those times, James, like Ace, he was always that gimmicky kind of a carry player, right? Like he had all those meepos, broods,
Visage,
He brings that micro skill
to the offense,
so he can apply it and pick a little bit of a different kind of a hero here, like a brewmaster perhaps.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a lot of experience. Yeah, and
mereka bisa menang anjing 2-0.
So I'm doing great on this panel. And then Fnatic, any kind of players that you want to kind of bring up?
Gila, Gaming Gladiator menang 1 game sama Liquid.
Let's go.
DJ, the man of the hour for this team. He is an absolutely phenomenal world-class player, especially if he gets his hands on something like a Hoodwink. That's probably one of my favorites. Even in their losses, this guy turns up.
Gimana guys? Judinya guys.
His movements on the map, his ability, like his spell casting is.
Tai lu pasti mau counter bait gue ya, Bush. Tai lu.
Turn into a core as the game goes later because he's so good at having impact. Number 1, my favorite on that team by far.
And the way they switched it up, right? Like they were playing DJ and Jabs last year on that 4 and 5. Now Jabs is.
Jujur gue nggak tahu anjing.
Both of them always felt like the playmakers for Fnatic.
Yeah, DJ, a name I'm also familiar with. I believe.
Gue kasih tau masih ngelis, kan gue pengen Boom menang.
In position 4.
Kita sakit perut gue anjing.
That's a man of good taste.
At the same time, do you guys think that Armel, perhaps as he missed the last TI, he's hungry now and he's back for revenge?
He actually is. He's talked about it. He's been like, yeah, I learned my lesson. I was lazy last year and I will never let that happen again. He has come back like with mindful practice. He talked about making sure he's learning something from every pub.
And in terms of experience on the stage,
not
any much difference? Because in group stages, as we mentioned, they kind of perform similarly, but in terms of actually on stage.
Well, when you look at Raven, this man has been on what, 4 or 5 TIs?
Yeah, a lot of TIs.
Gue pikir dulu anjing, sabar.
A little bit of an edge when it comes to the TI experience because it's a different style of experience from any other stage, right? It's TI.
Yeah, for Gladiators, they just don't have that much experience at all. Of course, Ace will be their key player there, but everyone else, it's first time.
Well, here we go. We're getting ready for the draft. in this match.
Diamond Gladiators versus Fnatic.
And I've got a treat for you here on the panel.
No way.
Gaming Gladiator winner kata Rapidog.
You get to do the draft.
Wonderful.
And I get to watch and try not to ask silly questions.
Rapidog bullshit.
Well, Blizzard, can you just predict the entirety of the draft, please?
Yeah, fair bush.
See some Lich, Tiny, Morph. There you go. That's 3 heroes. Anything else?
No, I think that covers it.
Yeah, that's it.
Should we just wait for the game?
Should we just be quiet? Yeah, just, there you go.
There are some people that just mute Twitch chat, by the way. They wouldn't know the difference. We could just mime. But yes, the draft is going to be on its way.
It's going to be a very interesting one because even position 5s, let's say on Fnatic General, I remember like 2 years ago, they would pick a position 5 troll to him. He would carry the games in the DPCs. Like both of these teams extremely flexible. You guys mentioned Ace before.
Masalah gini, Cok. Fnatic ini punya ini, Cok. Apa pengedar narkoba anjing.
Well, let's not call him the most flexible mid laner, but at the same time, he's extremely stable with what he's got. So, and he's old school.
Belum mulai anjing tai, belum bisa nonton.
Classic mid lane hero is definitely in his hero pool.
I'll let you guys focus on the draft because take it away, and it looks like the first bans are already out.
Okay. Yeah. So I pretty much preface that, of course, the.
Gila nih 50-50 anjing oddsnya, Cok, tai.
Fnatic picking it a little bit more often than Gladiators, but potentially having that factored into the opening bans will be pretty critical.
Lu mau tahu nggak bus hero yang tembus apaan? Primal Beast.
The drafts, I usually first look at what teams are banning against Fnatic, against Gaming Gladiators. Actually, versus Gaming, it's usually the Enchantress and Marcy that's banned out, but they get the Marcy out as like the hero is just strong in any.
Primal Beast tembus
at the moment.
Yeah, very much a respecting. Of course, Celery on that Enchantress, very prominent. Broodbuff has kind of risen in popularity during this TI, and now the key heroes are being let through. It's going to be the Primal Beast, it's the Shadow Fiend. Enigma's still available.
Do you think that SF is perhaps first phase material for gaming?
I feel like SF might fall down a
little
bit.
Ngepick anjing, bener Cok, ngepick Cok.
Kind of EG showing this morning.
First picknya Undying. Fuck stupid anjing, ada Primal Beast ngepick Undying. Tapi benernya kayaknya bagus dah Undyingnya dah.
Oh, thank you. No, I'm just thinking in my head about how Fnatic have played throughout the year and.
Fuck, Fnatic 9 pick, Undying Cok, iya bener.
In like healing, you know, he liked healing heroes. He would play very much these kind of. You know, he'd let DJ do all of the roaming, so he would go on like a Tiny, a Hoodwink, whatever, rotate to the mid lane, do his thing, and Januel would focus more on like making sure.
Primalnya diambil Gladiator, Primal sama Silencer Gladiator.
Matches that playstyle. I think it's cool to look at this TI and how support has like evolved because I think
Primal Beast Gladiator.
Like Picho saying like, oh yeah, healing, it's the best, it's just the best. In this tournament we have very aggressive fights. We have literally.
Mau gantiin duitnya nggak man kalau gua all in man. Kalau mau gantiin gua all in anjing.
So. Fnatic's still kind of opting a little bit back for that.
When it comes to the Silencer, Tiga, is this a lane matchup or versus an Undying, or is this just something that Gaming like to pick
Sniper!
up?
Fnatic Sniper! Fnatic pick Sniper! Fnatic pick Sniper! Ah!
So the ability to lane it into anything they need is key. And with this Primal Beast, they've also played it in the off lane, in the 4, in the mid. So because they are very flexible, like this, it's opening, it's very robust because of course Primal Beast, you go phase boots, BKB, you're 20 minutes.
Sniper anjing di pick kedua bangsat.
With this team fight here,
gila pede banget bocah.
That kind of secures a lane against this beast. You're so far disconnected from the lane that you can kind of, you know, not really feel the pressure.
Ini gue percaya Ligar ya, awas Ligar hoax nih.
Can actually stand up to him, right? Like just keep your distance and.
But always against the sniper, I guess that means the Gaming are going to need some jump.
100% win rate.
The Boom Storm Spirit could be a thing that we see in the future.
Yeah, it could be nice. Sniper is really cool because you notice how Drow as well has been picked up a little bit this tournament, but she's suffering way harder in terms of win rate. And one of the reasons I think that is because Sniper has this 1,400 gold shard that allows him to reposition himself in fights that Drow doesn't have. She has to buy 4-staff and it like hinders her item progression.
Rahman cuma bilang bet T1 lol.
Just feels so good and nice against
his counters.
We've seen people picking him into like clockworks and not caring too much as a result.
One of the combos that we saw with Primal Beast a lot was actually the Disruptor, and though my eyesight not so great, I think it's in the pool.
Gua masih percaya.
win lane forward style, then they could pick it. But because I think they're conceding a little bit.
Gue masih percaya.
It might not fit so well.
Saya aggression gimana Ler? Percaya nggak lu Ler? SEA aggression.
No, please do. Do you guys think that Pangolier is still an option? Because both of these teams, they love that Pangolier, and it's highly contested between them.
Yeah, I think anything that has a bit more of a messiness to the fight.
For Fnatic, perhaps, right? Because they have this silencer.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. You can counterplay into that for sure. I think if you can have heroes that like to itemize to deal with global and it doesn't punish them too much. For example, like having to force yourself into a Lotus, but you then don't have the initiation tool, that kind of ruins a hero. But Pango, you can casually buy it and your skill set.
Oh, gue pusing. Primal silencer nih agresif anjing. Nggak, primalnya yang agresif, silencer enggak. Sniper Undying ini enak cok nge-kill cok. Lu selain sniper Undying ini udah pasti menang cok. Udah pasti menang lane-nya.
I want to see more heroes that kind of enable them to just stick together as a team.
Maklah, I don't care bro, saya pride. Fuck, saya pride. Nggak peduli gue ngentot, saya pride.
In regards to their bans, I don't think they've covered enough to secure the sniper because.
Shut the fuck up, bro. Shut the fuck up. Saya pride, don't care, fuck everybody else, saya pride, let's go. SEA pride, mending nonton di stream aja anjing draftnya cok, nggak jelas draftnya cok.
It becomes kind of difficult to.
Tapi lebih cepat sini nggak sih? Iya anjing lebih cepat
Do you
sini
think the
cok, enggak deh,
Bloodseeker
sama.
is revealing that Pango you talked about
Ya
potentially?
lebih cepat di
It also
in-game.
could be a very good option for them, right? Like they covered their bases with the Bloodseeker ban.
Ada kabar sukacita hari ini, lebih banyak duka citanya.
They could have seen, okay guys, we've got 3 or 4 heroes we really want to play against.
Ada si Boom menang, dah itu.
To then force the final ban of Gladiators to, do we now ban the Pango to respect the Bloodseeker ban? Or do we just ban the hero that still wanted to ban?
You used to be a coach, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like, this is the coach mentality.
Exactly.
He looks 2-3 steps ahead.
But now look at the
I'm like, okay, this ban, next hero.
But like, there's a lot of.
Lu bet siapa? Gue bet Fnatic bro, insya Allah Fnatic menang.
Doing this where he'll sometimes use a ban where it's like, I'm gonna ban a Veno, and it's like, what? And then it's like, and then the other teams think about maybe they want an Ursa, maybe they want some Void. It's like, no.
So do you think this Slark was actually baited out ban because Bloodseeker got banned, right?
Potentially.
Usually a counter.
Yeah, could be. Like again, it's like the Pango or the Slark are the 2 prominent ones of Bloodseeker. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but it sounds cool.
Yeah, usually Fnatic like to leave their offlaner for later in the draft. They could definitely pick it here. It's just I see in general a lot of the captains are offlaners and they like to leave it for later, just so they have like a better game, which maybe happens here.
Something that I haven't seen from Fnatic, but perhaps is an option as well, is a Nyx. Do you even care about Mortimer's kisses and a way to deal with that?
Good pick. Especially because in this situation, Fnatic have to pick 2 heroes, so going for like Nyx +1, going for a really reliable offlane duo gives you some strength in the draft because Gladiators.
Nih ya, sumpah jujur nih, menurut gue nih, kalau misalnya dia bisa dapat side lane, pick-picknya side lane-nya Fnatic kuat juga, menang main kill gue anjing. Cuman ini udah kuat soalnya, save lane-nya udah kuat anjing, sniper. Fucking sniper Undying, bro.
Maybe not death profit, but like Nyx +1 big offlane hero could be good.
No, they just get their clock.
Okay.
This is literally what they like to play.
Same vibe.
DJ or jabs, like, it doesn't matter, you play it on 4.
They need to be very wary right now of Faceless Void being in the pool. When you have a Snapfire, it's the damage you want heroes to now be kept in place for you to get that damage out, and Faceless Void is a hero that's very good.
Udah menang berapa? 0. 0, gue menang 0 hari ini. Minus sih sebenarnya.
Scary looking hero right now.
It's something that they play quite a bit, right?
Ya dia tuh pick PA buat sniper, tolol anjing.
I want to see something right now that can deal with it if that's what Gaiman want to go for.
Diamond Gladiators turn to Templar Assassin.
Just a casual TA.
Yeah, not bad. Especially like if you want to turn up the tempo against them and make sure they can't just go for a later game carry.
So are we thinking Armel sniper? Are we thinking Raven sniper here? Because they played it in both positions before, right? Like even, I believe they prefer it on the mid lane.
Yeah, I'm just checking now. Their previous victory against TSM, they did put the sniper in the mid lane. They put the TA, same combination, into safe lane. Hero-wise, they have at least 3 of the 5 same heroes that they previously played at TI. yeah, lanes are pretty open in regards to the cores, at least to Fnatic. But I still think that...
By the way, wild idea. We've seen a PL win today. He had 0% win rate before. I'm looking at this game. Good against Pop, good against Tombstone, good against TA.
I don't think...
an option?
Bingung gue anjing nih supaya hero apa yang bagus. Dota tuh lore di Netflix kak, iya.
That's one thing, but I can't take another one.
Okay. I do think they need to pick something on their last pick that can fight around Roche. Right now, I feel very bad about Gaimin being able to contest the pit. Like, there's no team fight on this team. They can press the global, and they don't have anything that really goes in other than a farmed Morphling or a primal with the Blink Dagger. It's a little scary right now, especially since they also... If you have a well-placed tomb, it's hard for Snapfire to just walk in and use the Shredder on it, right? That's the idea of her. She's meant to kill the tomb, but it's going to be hard to place it, and then you can't use your kisses.
But overall, when it comes to Morphling, so he brings a lot of armor, decent against TA, right? He can also waveform towards the sniper, so he kind of can deal with him as well. Do you find this a good pick, or is it just comfort zone?
No, I think it's a good pick. I think Gladiators, they've just secured their team fight now in that 20-minute mark of the game. Yeah. Because this Morphling, you come out of lane, let's say with like a Manta or something, around that phase, you've brought up a Global, a BKB on Beastmaster, Primal Beast, sorry, not Beastmaster. You're just going to be able to enter these fights, and Fnatic, what's their stun? What's their team fight, their initiation? It's pretty non-existent. They can fight around a tomb, but they're now the Morphs replicating that. This final pick from Fnatic, it needs to be that initiating team fight kind of central hero to allow the big physical damage from TA and Sniper to be unlocked.
I'm only afraid about like a 15-minute Deso Tombstone Roche taking timing.
Yeah.
That's all I want for Gaimin, to be able to put a stop on that. Otherwise, I think Fnatic can run away from the game before Morphling is strong enough to fight back.
CM pala bapak kau CM. Butuh pos 3 anjing.
Really hard recently. It steals stats from.
Kalau nggak pos 3 inisiator lah apapun bentukannya.
Depending on the attribute.
It makes your carry cry as well, right?
Yeah, you have 2 Agi carries on Fnatic right now, so you're taking away their Agi as well as like 70 attack speed, I believe it is. So it really like nukes you super hard in these fights.
Tight di Bennett, baru di Bennett tight.
Super sad.
And when it comes to the team fight that you called for, Tiga, Tidehunter has been banned out. Is Mars an option? What are they going for here? They just got to visit.
Okay,
all forgotten.
Fnatic wants to play a pretty strong lane. They got really decent lanes. Get that first Ocean, like Sheep mentioned, and then try and end the game. They want to end the game before this Morph finds
before he even gets that.
Exactly.
Perhaps.
So this mid pick from for Boom, it needs to be a kind of map playing hero, something that just kind of unlocks the game for everyone else, like cheap fight skirmishing, and just buy time for the rest of his heroes to get into the game.
We talked about Pango earlier. I would be okay with something like that. Get that defusal timing, just fight and rotate. If you can
Gaming Gladiator, kalau nge-pick Ember kalah.
That would be very ideal.
Kalau Gaming Gladiator nge-pick Ember, Fnatic kalah. Cuman gue nggak tahu gimana match up-nya ntar di mid lane-nya. Ini kenapa nge-lag ngentot?
They don't have very good.
Top of Sniper also deal with the layers of Visage.
One option they have is just put the Primal Beast onto mid lane and pick up another hero for Ace, because you already know that Undying Sniper should do pretty well against Primal Beast. Just shove that into mid. You're going to farm anyways. Then pick up an offlaner that can maybe apply a little bit more pressure and then just give yourself some wins in the lanes. Just trying to find what that hero would be.
There's so much push, man. This is so scary. Yeah. I just don't think they handle this well at all. Like, both their supports are pretty bad at clearing.
Kalau primal mid,
do you think they just go boring and go for like an underlord offlane or something? We're just gonna push the waves out. We're gonna wait some time.
Bisa sih kalau primal mid, tapi nggak tahu gue nge-pick apa ini gaming.
Some respect there, please.
No, I just mean versus any team that has Visage. I've heard this same idea so many times. Get the stable
Storm.
With Storm. Alright. I think this makes a bit more sense because it gives you at least this opportunity to outplay them in the mid game. You're not just backing off, farming up and waiting for them to start their snowball. It actually gives you that playmaking potential earlier.
How many Aegis stills will we...
Free Storm game anjing. Coba kenapa kalau gue ngebet gitu ya, timnya tiba-tiba gini anjing pick-pickannya ngentot. Iya, pos 3 primal. Hah? Bukannya carry ya? Bukannya carry ya? Oh, S3. Oh ya, primal 3. Gue tadi udah mikir gitu anjing, Ember sama Storm nih free game anjing. Gak tau ler, otak gue gak nyampe ler anjing, sumpah. Kenapa kalau gue ngebet tim mana gitu, timnya yang itu draftnya tolol gitu. Tadi gue ngebet Spirit ya. Spirit draftnya apa? Last picknya OD anjing.
Ay.
Berarti emang udah seharusnya gue gak ngebet game winner anjing, ngebet 10 kill aja gitu ya. Gue jadi ngebet Hokori main apa? Main Mobile Legend anjing. Ayah babi bacot anjing. Gue tadi ngebet Hokori mainnya apaan? Ogre Magi anjing. Oh, stupid ngentot. Gak ada anjing gue ngebet game winner. Gak ada, cok. Iya harusnya gue ngebet 10 kill aja ya. Player who plays the most episode forward.
Not what you expected.
Giracio, goblok anjing. Yang muter tuh DJ anjing, DJ harusnya. DJ lah. Total number of smoke gang kill. Blink Dagger purchase. Blink Dagger tuh berarti Raven. Primal gak bakal menit 25 tapi Raven doang anjing. Januel, yaudah Januel.
My keyboard is not.
Total number of player deaths in end game 2640. Nggak tau kalau brutal gamenya nih. Kalau gamenya brutal nggak tau lah. Nggak peduli gua ngentot. Naik level belum ini. Cuman 100 ya per win ya. Oh, cok, pala gue ngantor.
His brain is so big.
Enggak ya, ini kalau nih ya, jujur nih ya. Bro, shut the fuck up. Satu-satunya cara Fnatic ngentot campur. Satu-satunya cara Fnatic menang, outplay anjing. Literally outplay dan menang semua lane. Itu satu-satunya cara. Kalau misalnya mereka kalah lane 2 gitu, 1 gitu. Satu lane mana kalah dan nggak bisa di recover, kalah gitu anjing. Sek.
Ulah.
Alay. Kepala gue pusing sumpah ngentot.
Ulah.
Kayak gini ya. Pokoknya harus menang semua anjing. Satu-satu cara Fnatic menang semua.
The quest for ultimate glory continues.
Алло, как это вообще возможно, я не понимаю.
Dig. Pusing kepala gue ngentot nih, siapa yang masang? Armel. Kak, carry-nya siapa sih? Bingung gue. Bentar. Oh, Armel mid, sniper mid.
Not what you expected.
His brain is so big.
Sniper lawan Storm. Sebelum level 6 menang sniper. Kalau udah level 6 kalah snipernya. Oh, steal? Enggak sih. DJ yang mati anjing. Oke, 3-1 boom. Boom gladiator.
My keyboard is not working.
Baik. Nih ya, kalau misalnya snipernya bisa dapat solo kill Storm Spirit menit-menit awal, orang ini jago anjing, gue jamin jago banget ngentot. Lane bawah harusnya aman. Belum tentu sih. Oke, di blok. Dua-duanya di blok anjing GG. DJ nge-pull creep, aman. Kalau dari lane sih harusnya menang ya. Dari lane match up maksudnya lu Visage, Clockwork, Undying TA menang sih harusnya. Cuman nggak tahu nih kalau Storm Spirit jadi gitu. Kalah, Cok. Kalau Storm Spirit jadi, Cok. Yang bisa ngeset temponya cuma Storm Spirit soalnya. Dan oke lah harusnya. Aman lah ya. Semoga lah aman anjing. Fuck Undying bro, hero paling broken selaning stage anjing. Tombstone? Gak mungkin anjing. Jijil doang bangsat. Tapi nggak bisa nge-kill juga bangsat Fnatic di bawah, Cok. Sama nggak ada sih satu stunnya. Fnatic nggak bisa nge-kill tapi nggak ada damage, nggak ada stun Fnaticnya. Kalau yang gaming gladiator bisa masih. Kofu bisa mati di sini, Cok. Masih ada cookie. Oh, nggak dapet kok. Nggak ada power kok. Belum diambil. Wah. Lupa, flare. Lupa gue jadi Clockwork, gue flare anjing tuh Morphling, Cok. Siapa tau first blood. Kocak ngentot. Anjing kekatak lompat, Cok. Apa di sini yang menang mid lane-nya? Sniper sih menang ya dari Lasit ya, cuma nggak tahu lagi ya. Level 1 berapa sih damage-nya anjing? 80. Kurangin 25%, 70-an. Sempat nggak dia naikin itu dalam waktu durasi 2 detik? Enggak kayaknya. Oke, pull-nya di cancel sama DJ di atas dan lupa lane-nya menang semua sih, Cok. Dari Lasit menang semua ya. Mid-nya lumayan lah, jarak 1 creep wave lebih. Bawahnya jarak 7. Midnya juga jarak 8. Bisa sih. Oh, bisa ini. Bisa ini nge-kill, Cok. Nah, slow, DJ, jangan diblok. Kok. Oke, nggak mau diving kok. Nggak apa-apa. Yang penting sekarat dulu di bawah juga. Tombstone keluar, sekarat. Udah nggak ada stick, celery juga sekarat. Lagi-lagi anjing, ini gue maksud anjing, lane itu harus menang kayak gini, Cok. Selama dia masih bisa menang lane, keluar laning stage nggak tolol-tolol amat, menang lah. Oh shit, nge-throw. Kurung, first blood, nice, first blood, DJ dapat first blood. Nggak pernah dapat first blood tapi di trade. Dan rotasi 2 orang anjing, alhamdulillah. Gak apa-apa.
His brain is so big.
Rotasi 2 orang berarti atas bawah free, bro. Aman. Space created kalau kata mas-mas. Storm Spirit juga belum level 6 jadinya telat ya kan level 6-nya. Pokcam. Gak anjing, gue gak pernah space created, Cok. Gue butuh space yang ada. Tunjukin buyback status, ngapain ngentot menit segini babi. Raven bakal di-go di bawah sama Ace tapi kayaknya gak bisa, Cok. Gak bakal bisa anjing. Tapi ya itu counternya apa fucking TA gak guna anjing, ada shield apa sih namanya itu? Refraction gak guna, Cok. Enggak, lu goblok Gar, lu minta menit 5 buyback status, siapa mau nge-fight 5 orang terus buyback gitu, gak ada anjing. Ulti aja belum ada, babi ya. Tuh kan networknya di atas semua anjing kecuali Visage ya, gak kaget lah Visage anjing. Respect apa lu dari Visage. Wow, masang war. Oh, dapat bounty. Pokcam. Mita juga udah main berdua. Tom Spiritnya belum level 6, masih lama, masih jauh. Jarak 2 creep wave. Rune atas, bakal diambil nggak? Ada DJ. Tofu, oke. Dini doang nggak bakal ngambil, dia main aman. Karena ngeliat ada rotasi. GG anjing nih midnya udah kayak Mobile Legend anjing, mainnya bertiga cok. Di bawah es. Oh yolo, nggak ada trample, nggak ada fuck apa sih yang ngamuk-ngamuk ini namanya? Onslaught anjing, nggak bisa. Oh, nggak bisa. Ya kabur dia. Tai. Masih belum level 6 anjing Stone Spiritnya cok, gara-gara diambil XP-nya sama XP-nya diculik sama Stepfire, parah sih ngentot. Gue jadi Stone Spiritnya nggak terima gue anjing, gue ngamuk sih anjing. Kecewa gue punya temen kayak gitu babi. DJ lari-lari jalan-jalan, ternyata Stone Spirit tuh level 6. Ngediwat kah? Dapet uang. Alhamdulillah. Dapet duit jajan. Stone Spirit udah level 6, udah bisa muter-muter nih, bisa muter ke bawah cok stormnya cok. Mati gak sih? Mati sih TA di Zip Storm. Kalau atas kayaknya agak susah dah. Tapi enggak, stormnya TP ke mid. Coba rotasi kah? Gak ada rotasi, nggak ada rotasi. Ada silencer tapi agak jauh, silencer juga nggak punya stun, agak susah. My god, sniper rotate kah? Manis, gila. Gua sumber-umur ya, kalau gua main sniper mid kerjaan gua apa? Farming anjing. Gua main sniper mid kayak main sniper carry, cok. Nggak ada gua jalan ke ini musuh gitu, nggak ada, cok. Gua farming anjing. Gua farming sampai gua dapat item 3 biji lah minim lah. Baru nge-fight. Mungkin karena itu gua nggak pernah naik rank ya. But I don't care, man. Susah orang Cina kalau main Dota suka duit. Buktinya LGD main Dota nggak peduli ini aja, nggak peduli menang kalah, yang penting duitnya banyak. Dari Xiaobet 2-0 lawan Secret, 2-0 lawan EG. 2-0 lawan EG, lu bayangin gak sih? 2-0 lawan EG berarti Thunder Awaken ini lebih bagus daripada LGD anjing. Karena EG aja menang 2-0 lawan LGD. Gimana Thunder Awaken anjing? Bisa-bisa 20 menit gitu kelar LGD, cok. Saya nyoba nge-fight di sini di mid 3 lawan 3. Enggak, 3 lawan 4. Bawa jumlah. Siapa yang bakal diincar? Ceritanya mau ngincar sniper tapi malah kena zip zap. Jadi enggak bisa ngincar sniper, malah ngincar andainya. Itu kemana sih ini? Jadinya ngincar siapa sih? Bingung semua anjing. Belok-belok semua Januel. Apakah bakal selamat di sini? Enggak bakal selamat karena kena pulverize. Celery, ada ulti, sniper enggak ada anjing. Makanya ngambil ulti ngentot. Bingung kan lu sekarang gak dapet kill anjing gara-gara gak ngambil ulti, ngentot emang goblok. Terus langsung rotate ke atas lagi anjing, gaming gladiator jab sendirian anjing. Jab sendirian cok, di rotate sama 3 orang. Wah bangsat nih permainannya cok. Gamer gladiator bangsat, rotate-nya GG cok. Celery bakal mati kah? Dibunuh sama burung-burungan? Ya. Jab juga bakal mati di trade 2 1 buat 1. Rotate langsung. Ya ini yang gue maksud anjing. Tadi cok rotate begini cok. Babi. Sniper soalnya nggak bisa rotate bangsat. TA juga nggak bisa sih. Nggak ada ulti lagi sniper, pusing banget anjing, nggak ada ulti. Babi. Ambil skillnya apa? 7, 8 penuh anjing, nggak ada ulti. Coba tadi lu bayangin nggak sih tadi dia ngambil ulti sekali tuh silencernya mati, cok. Kenapa mau coba di go? Nggak ada hook shot tapi cuma ada slow doang, nggak bisa masuk. Masih ada pulverize juga, nggak bakal di dive. Warta di atas banyak banget, cok. Gaming gladiator warta di atas banyak kan, cok. Bar ini siapa yang menang nih? Lu nggak usah kontol. Player who plays most observer ward by 15. DJ 4 anjing lu. Wax banget anjing, bus tai. Ya bener tadi gue DJ anjing. Soalnya clockwork anjing yang bakal muter-muter, bukan ini cok, bukan Januel. Januel kan Andaying gimana nongkrong di lane anjing. Tai. Udah bener anjing, gue percaya sama diri gue sendiri cok. Pak lah bro. Ini Japs Diincer lagi, tai. Alt papi anjing. Mucho gracias afición esto pardoso terus. Tapi snipernya rotate. James apakah bisa selamat? Kayaknya nggak bakal selamat di sini. Stun? Nggak ada stun, nggak ada stun, nggak ada. Burung-burungnya mati semua titit. Kontol. 10 kill gue juga udah kalah. Game winner gue kalah sama gue. Udah ler. Kita habis ini nggak usah streaming lagi ler. Gue mau tidur deh ler anjing, pusing kepala gue. Kalau ini kalah gue nggak ada lagi anjing. Apaan anjing. Smoke lagi. Ini cok, game gladiator gini mainnya soalnya. Emang harus gini cok, buat space-nya sniper, buat space-nya morphling. Snipernya nggak bisa gini anjing. Di break tapi sama DJ, dan DJ yang bakal mati. Cam. Ya.
My keyboard.
They just don't have an answer for it. I mean, look good. DJ managed to sneak away, but it just opened up this path towards Armel. And suddenly the Gladiators, they're the ones taking aggression here. They're lined up for that top tier 1 tower. Really good use of the bottle from Boom with the Arcane, just giving him enough mana to play so far in. And just no control coming out from Fnatic. We saw a TP coming in from John Yuel, but the Undying at that point couldn't really contribute.
Very, very rough affair here. Fnatic just kind of trusting Raven and Armel to keep that farm going, but again, Gaiman doing a fantastic job of applying the pressure now. With that terrible start they did have after that laning stage, they just seem to be able to apply the pressure much better with this Storm. Doom doing a brilliant job of just rotating constantly and relieving the pressure off Duraccio here and Ace as well. 10 minutes in, 2-6, very, very slight net worth lead for Fnatic. May not last long either, as you see game.
Menang farming. Gue oke lah, fair. Gue ngebet dikit aja tadi di 10 kill lah. Berapa sih gue tadi ngebet 10 kill? Ntar gue cek. Ya gue ngebet 5 jadi 10 kill, tapi
it's really allowed the Roger to catch up. Number 3 net worth, not too far behind from Armel after that pretty slow laning start with Jabs and DJ just kind of pulling out that lane. He's got enough room to have his impact. There are some key timings coming out here.
Masalah picknya udah bagus anjing, Undying gitu ya. Gak main agresif, habis itu 2 core pasif anjing farming 1 game.
The sniper ready to back you up. Everyone just melts. It's a lot of physical damage coming out. They are lining up bot here.
They are. Ace going to be targeted. A nice hook shot. DJ is there in time to cancel as he does go for the Cox battery. Assault will not allow Ace to be able to get his way up, but now Boom, he'll be just fine. He'll zip away as the rest of the team do make their way over. Gaiman, they want to try and force a fight.
Rotate in, try to find something to counteract, but Fnatic just managed to burst down really quick. Great use of the hook shot coming out from DJ to cancel off that onslaught. And this is just, again, space coming out for Armel. They're starting to play behind Raven when they see the opportunity to do so. They know he's got pretty good damage coming out, very hard to melt down when he has that refraction up. And just get that build if you want onto Armel. Like, once the sniper's ready to go, he's playing really forward in the jungle right now.
Iya nih, udah lagi 7 nih. Lo liat nge-zip tuh. Di map nih, habis ini nge-zip nih bocah nih.
Absolutely, you see the Gladiator still trying to find some targets in that Radiant jungle. He just run into the Genuels Undying if they're not too careful, but I suppose they'd like that right now. Any kill they can get. See Boom just on towards that Witch's Blade, and it's just such a nice little power spike for the mid-storm once you do have that up and available. While Jab's going to start on that top tier 1 tower, and of course with the Visage you can just kind of do this by yourself. No help necessary here for Jabs, he'll get it done. So just side lane towers being traded. Fnatic's still an advantage in terms of map control right now, considering they did take down that mid-tier 1. Duraccio though getting rather low. End up taking the Tombstone and Undying morph for himself. Meeting the Tombstone, however, and it just means they can't really go for the mid-tier 1 themselves now.
Bersa buat morphling ada tapi nggak ada damage-nya anjing. Apa nggak ada stun-nya anjing? Stun-nya nggak cukup, cuma 1 doang anjing.
Jungle for Duraccio to kind of play in this area, keep getting that build up. You're also inching towards that BKB here for Ace. That's the big one. Having that safe initiation from the Primal Beast should allow them more opportunities to kind of have Boom zoom in.
There, they will connect. Ace is all over. It is now the global stance. Just to make sure nobody can help Jabs out, they will shut him down once again. Seems to be the game plan of Gaiman. Just make sure the Visage does not have a good game. your problems are kind of relieved later on.
That's too big ultimate.
Shot though, he does get caught out. Cox pushback is nice, but the cookie. Tofu gonna be there in time to save the day. It's Fnatic. They had started Roshan, but it doesn't seem like they're interested any longer.
And that's the key timing for Fnatic. The Desler is fully up
on Raven. Yang mana, Cok?
Roche not finding that kill, and Boom always leaves that threat to reset and zip in, so they're forced back. They can't really fully commit for the objective. It's not that low anyway, so there's no chance for the Gladiators to come in themselves. The Gladiators just doing so good in finding these openings for themselves. 3-7, less than 1k lead still up there for Fnatic, but they're getting some really good breeding room out for Duracho. They're getting some great utility out from Ace and Boom. They just know they've got this early timing they can play around with.
Well, the question I was about to ask you as well, John, do they keep going for this Roshan? Like, does Fnatic really want to try again? And the answer is currently yes, they do. With the Desolator timing on Raven, they feel very, very strong to try and do this. Off the Flesh Golem as well here from Januel. Rockefeller will give all the vision. It'll be enough. Fnatic to able to take a very quick Roshan for themselves as Gaiman. They just don't have an answer for it.
First Roshan nggak ada fungsinya ngentot soalnya. Ya emang line up mereka line up Roshan anjing.
Secondary life up for Armel. Our sniper starting to lag a bit behind in comparison to the Duracho, but at this point in the game, it's Raven that you should be worried about. Dragonlance and Deso up, working towards possibly that BKB next, maybe a blink to just jump the backline, and you start to feel really good on Fnatic. You start to find a way to take these fights yourselves, because you don't really have a natural initiator outside of just DJ jumping in. If you can't find that angle, no one can get through it.
He'll make the jump in. Genuel though, very nice position to make sure he tanks the gank. Hookshot was there from DJ, but it's off the mark. They're not going to be able to counter-initiate. You had Armel and DJ trying to move their way up.
Pelan tapi pasti kan. Gaming gladiator pelan tapi pasti ini udah 38 anjing.
From Fnatic to counter fight in, but the Gladiators were also really
hookshotnya kenapa tadi cowok hookshot angin ngentot.
Big back and forth kind of push. I guess with the Aegis on Armel, and you feel a bit more confident if he was around the area. Unfortunately, wasn't really there to try to make use of that secondary life. And the Gladiators keeping things smooth as far as it can go. I mean, they still haven't been able to equalize the map fully with a tier 1 tower for Fnatic still standing mid. But this aggression, it's getting a bit tough for Fnatic to control. Like, the moment they see Boom zip in, they don't have control.
This is an interesting position from Armel, but with the double damage, he seems confident to try and secure the kill onto Celery. Still trying to chase him down. Celery is able to get away, but now Tofu is the one in danger, but he's going to be okay.
Berapa kali sih gue ngomong nggak ada ulti snipernya, nggak ngambil ulti.
He'll be just fine. Fnatic just very confident with the double damage rune that was there on the sniper, but unable to really find anything for it.
And no level up yet on the Assassinate either, so couldn't really clean up, even with the vision available, and bail themselves out in Gladiators. And every single fight you kind of ditch like that, you feel pretty good. The sniper's not farming, he's not really doing much in the jungle, they're not pushing any objectives here on Fnatic's end. You're just going into this investment on Duracho. And he's #1 in net worth now. He's managed to catch up from all this space. This Morphling going for the Ags as well. Gonna be scary once that's up.
He's a little bit low on mana here. He is the Storm, but he is going to be just fine to TP out. But they weren't in range for a hook shot, so he's just fine. Continuing to try and bully Game and Gladiators out.
No hope goal, Jurelar, no hope lar.
Duracho, he's getting bigger and bigger on this Morphling, and that's going to be a very, very scary timing here from Game and Gladiators and Fnatic. You kind of wonder if they're getting enough done with this kind of Visage draft.
I think they are. It's really not Visage-centered. It just feels like you're playing along more with the potential of Raven and Armel, and you know, you get the benefit of faster push from Jabs of Deso. They will for that smoke play now. Still got the Aegis for 2 minutes.
Ini apa? Ini mereka kebantai. 10 kill mereka. 10 kill lagi. Iya ini 10 kill Gaming Gladiator anjing.
A ward down on the high ground. Gladiators immediately just backing their way up. They do not want part of this team fight. Not on their terms. He didn't see a double stack for himself, so he'll go ahead and take it for free. There's going to be no contest to come out from Gaming. They're just not ready yet for that big team fight. Stand that with the Aegis up, Fnatic do seem like the much stronger team at the moment. I suppose that's just the game right now. Just continue to evade the side of Fnatic. Just don't force the fight while the Aegis is up. And once it expires, you'll be more than happy to move in as Gaiman. But for now, if you're not really losing anything, there's just no need to fight.
Yeah, you've got the scaling on hand. You've got really good gap flows coming out from Boom, coming out from Ace. And you don't really need to worry about too much. You can just play on your own terms. You've got the threat of silence. You've got the threat of kisses here. The jump of Fnatic's really just all in on DJ. And if he doesn't manage to find that angle with a hook shot, if he doesn't manage to trap more than one person there or just disrupt that fight in a big way, the tools of the Gladiators just feel a lot stronger. They are getting some push out though, playing with that Deso, playing with that Visage and just how fast they can melt the towers. They find themselves a tier 2 and could open up the high ground if they want to.
As well as Gaming have avoided the side of Fnatic with this Aegis up, 2 towers have gone down and now maybe even a high ground attempt to come out as Fnatic. They do still have about 40 seconds left on that Aegis timing. Why the hell not?
20 menit anjing mau masuk HG, bener ngentot.
Very cautious though as they do eventually back their way up. Not looking to rush this again. It is a best of 1 series. So
8 lu kopium peler.
In the lower bracket. Don't want to get knocked down in this round of 1 if you can, if you're either team. Still.
Enggak, gue tuh orangnya realistis lah. Ini udah 38 tuh no hope anjing.
Very confident their late game scaling here on this Morphling.
Kalau 7-9 comeback jadi 10-9 bisa. 38 comeback jadi 10-8 tuh. Tolol anjing.
And be hard to burst down Duracho again, going back to that lack of control. I like this from the Gladiators. Smoke up immediately with that big pickup on Duracho. They don't have the best forward vision right now. So they might not be able to find that angle.
Mati 5 terus buyback 2 ya, ya GG sih.
That could be the turning point.
Masalah early game fight ini nggak mungkin matinya 1-5 apa 1 buat 5 gitu, nggak mungkin cok. Oh 1 udah tuh 9 3-9 itu
3. Oh, they go too far in the end. A very nice
fight
from Genuel just to be able to rejoin the team fight and drop the tombstone. In fact, they just keep going. Assassinate out of the Tofu into the stun now as well. Soul rip out. Tofu's in trouble.
Ya, kalau supportnya tebel nggak bisa mati, oke lah fair. Ini 5-9 ngentot. DJ nge-hook shot terus mati kelar. Januel di zip kelar.
Smoking up, not seeing anyone kind of take care of those lanes, knowing that
that's a big one. Boom, he's getting perma-stun. Jabs, he's gonna find it. Great micro out from Jabs and Raven, who enjoyed the kill for himself, tips out.
And this is where it gets scary. The high ground push kicks in. You've got the 15 talent up on Jabs, +1 armor corruption to the familiars with the Deso. And this set of objectives just don't last long. Fortify coming out to stave them off. Again, just the game sense coming out from Fnatic. You saw how much commitment came out from the Gladiators. Global sounds and kisses just to find the Undying. It's just not enough.
That certainly isn't. So much committal for that POS 5 and the buyback available is just not worth it. As now Fnatic just getting right back into the mid-tier 2 tower. Duracho does end up falling behind once again in terms of net worth. Keep trying to force a fight here. Looks like for now he'll morph into the sniper and just try to force them back with the shrapnel charges, and that's going to be enough.
Tadi cuma mati 1, iya sekarang mati 1 lagi. Masalahnya gitu, early game fight itu nggak bakal bisa nih, nggak ada yang mati, nggak bisa coba pasti 1 mati ke trade.
Mind you, you don't have the buyback on the Undying anymore, so maybe you could force a fight not worrying about that, but it still seems risky.
Still a massive risk. It does feel like you're going to need a BKB up on at least Duracho. Maybe ideally you'd want it on Boom as well, just so you can get that safe initiation out. And you can't always start with a Primal Beast. You don't have that Blink Dagger up on Ace, and he's got the BKB.
Death Note aja main GG segampang itu apa anjing?
Can be tough. Before DJ tends to be ready to just interrupt.
Gak ada fungsi anjing Death Note sekarang kalau matinya setelah TI ini kelar, cok. Tai.
Angle here. So you need more of that spell immunity up. Need more of those BKBs. That's going to take some time. And Fnatic with the ground they've gained on this map, you don't have that much room to get all these cores farmed up to that point.
Absolutely. Teams once again just hanging around their side of the map for now. No vision on the side of Gaming Gladiators at the moment, who have grouped up just a bit. The team in that mid lane.
Fuck me, man.
The next Roshan. Both these teams is now even a BKB to come out. Raven, so scary at times against the TA. Magic community, it's very hard to try and burst him down throughout these fights. So much of your damage is just negated through that BKB.
Masalahnya ada Morphling lah jujur nih. Kalau nggak ada Morphling bisa mungkin ya.
Or something here.
Nggak ada Storm Spirit juga anjing, nggak masuk akal cok. Dia nge-zip tuh pasti dapat 1 kill duluan anjing, dan itu nggak bisa di cancel anjing 10 kill ya.
defense will show up, maybe trying to bait a fight, but Fnatic very composed, not going to try for it.
They just play it safe. They know they've got a pretty good stand on the map. They know they don't have to take these risks. They could just keep farming up a little bit more. They get big timing on DJ up with the Ags running. So the overclocking's up, way more damage coming out, way more utility from the rocket flare. And if they can work their angle really, really well. Side of Gladiators, they just need to kind of build in. Maybe if you find that opportunity to jump, you go for it, but immediate overclock, immediate flares with that smoke out here from Fnatic.
Absolutely, such an annoying agony interceptor to have to try and go against here. DJ just going to continue to spam out and get so much vision.
Jeez.
That's a lot. Game, and they just can't escape the rocket flares, and now Tofu jumped. Just fine with the cookie, he will be able to break the gap.
Realistis anjing, bukan pesimis. Bedain anjing realistis sama pesimis.
They're kind of stuck onto their high ground now. Maybe hoping for a high ground defense. I mean, you could still try to defend the top tier 2 tower. It just feels a little bit rough, especially considering Roshan. It is coming up rather soon.
They have to go for a play. Going for that smoke out. Maybe they find a good angle here. They don't quite have the best vision again on that jungle. They could get but if they manage to get a good flank here, it could be big. It's just that Johnny Welt's the one's hanging back here.
We go. And he will. He's spotted. Take the gank. Tries to drop the tombstone in time.
Like I said,
gak
bisa anjing. Sebagus-bagusnya fight-nya ternyata masih 1 buat berapa gitu, nggak bisa 0 buat 5 gitu, nggak bisa cok.
Thanks to Tofu, but the hook shot is out. They've got Boom on the storm. He's still going to tip away, but he's out of mana. He is out of mana. But where's the backup? It's not there yet. In fact, Armel, he was getting to work. Assassinate. It'll fly through and does find Boom on the storm. Not the worst fight for Fnatic, but not the best either. They do give 2 kills away for that. Both supports going down for the mid-storm. Gaiman, they'll be okay with it, I think.
It's a really nice back and forth. Again, they jump onto Johnny Well. He's the one to break the smoke. He manages to get the tombstone right before the global silence in a really good spot on that play.
Bisa di 10-11.
Only Boom was
Nggak
focusing
peduli
in on that
10-11, Pepe udah telat.
It took so long for him that DJ found that opportunity. So it's a good play coming out from Gladiators. They need to get something done, but again, they're finding the wrong targets. They're always getting Zhao first. They're always having to blow at least one big ult first.
The replay here, I mean, you find the Undying, but he won't mind. He just gives so much information away to his team, and well, Ace just couldn't really walk away, sadly. He's forced the BKB up, and luckily Tofu was there to save. DJ once again, just fantastic with the hookshot, finding the storm. Just completely out of mana, and so you didn't really notice, John, but from the low ground, Armel, he was just getting right to work onto that Storm Spirit. The Assassinate just barely had enough damages. Now, well, Gaiman, they're trying to force Roshan, but hookshot is there, DJ. Once again, trying to force the fight. Ace with a very nice onslaught, Duraccio, and Boom, they're onto Jabs. They're trying for the Visage, they might just have him, but Jabs, he goes into that Stone Form. He'll survive for a bit longer. DJ, he will try to back his way out of the stuns around. In fact, Duraccio, he's the one in trouble, trying to back his way out, but Jabs is on the chase with the Familiars. In they go. Do they have the damage? They've got the stuns out on Raven. He'll melt them. Duraccio still trying to run, still in trouble. He's going to end up going down. And 2 for 2 so far, but there was a buyback from Tofu. Still Ace. He would make his run out as well, but the slows are there from Raven. Will he find a way out with the onslaught? No, he'll go for the onslaught, cancel and go for the TP instead, but it's not going to work. Oh boy.
They managed to find Armel in the back. They get some good punishment for their trouble there in the Gladiators, but it cost them so much. Diracho just being taken away, the Morphling being a key component of that late game scaling, just isn't able to hold its ground. Jabs is just way too durable. Gets the rate packed off, has the shard up with his own form, and that times so well here for Fnatic.
At least menang kalau menang, kalau menang gue masih 0, rugi gue 0 rel.
Again, Roshan happening, but
kalau menang,
just so annoying.
Kalau
make your way over.
Can't stop it. Like, it's giving so much information out, and the
realistis
just don't have
menang masih bisa. 10 kill itu nggak realistis anjing.
Got some watching the Roche pit. Again, it just melts so fast with that damage from Raven and Jabs.
A lot of damage. Another ages to go the way of Fnatic. That'd be the second one of the game for themselves. 9k ahead now, a very powerful position for Fnatic. Game in general, what do they need to do here? I mean, they're in a very rough position now. How do you make the comeback in this game, number 1?
You've got the BKB.
Game number 1.
He had it last time.
Gak ada game number 1. Game ini doang anjing.
Take out Armel.
Game number 1 tolol banget, caster tolol anjing.
Focus in onto Raven somehow, and that's how it kind of shapes.
Nggak ada game number 1. Nggak ada game number 2 soalnya anjing. Gimana cara game number 1, game number 2 babi.
Don't mind being targeted, especially jabs. I mean, he's just so durable. And John Yuval, as you mentioned, just gives information. You need one of these 2 bigger cores to drop first. From the side of Gladiators, and it's going to take some good vision game coming out. But
buat ngomong game number 1 anjing
goblok those players out, and he's just getting so much more out of this.
Kind of obnoxious how much
vision it gets. Caster babi.
I think we saw in an earlier team fight, it almost just killed Celery off with those rocket flares. Very, very scary indeed. Fnatic, K ahead, still their way through the top lane. Might try to force a high ground team fight now. I mean, you've got 3 minutes 50 seconds on that Aegis. Plenty of time to try and poke and prod. Tier 3 tower, in fact, now a Daedalus up on Raven. Scary times for Game and Gladiators. Head to 13, 9k lead once again. Fnatic, they're going to move their way over. That tier 3 tower, it's just not going to last too long. They'll be forced to glyph it up. It's going to be enough for now. Fnatic going to overstay their welcome. They do back their way out, and Gaiman, they're just trying to find any kind of space for the map they can right now.
Play where they can, get some build up while they can, although.
Yeah, you get spotted, the traps from Raven. Ace, how do you find your way out of this spot? You also towards the right side, but the trap is there, and DJ, he's gonna land another beautiful hook as Ace is forced to BKB up, try to run his way up the meld strike. Gonna follow him down as DJ will not leave this man alone. They've got the primal beast as well.
Udah BKB, satu semua keluar anjing. Oh, HG ini. Dapat tower 1 lah.
It comes at a cost. Someone's got to be sacrificed for that opening. DD up on Armel. I love this build from Armel as well. My Moonshard up on the sniper. He's just plinging away. Yeah. Like you've got the damage amp coming in from the Visage and the TA. You don't need much yourself. You just need to whack away, especially when you manage to turn on that aim with a headshot. These heroes will still melt. And again, the jump capabilities for the Gladiators are there, but every time we've seen them jump into that backline, it comes at such a massive risk to themselves. They need to synchronize their jump in with their use of a global silence on these big cores.
The AC up on jabs now, so even more attack speed here for Armel. They do move into that tier 3 tower, and it just melts. It's completely disappearing with this double damage for an active Armel. He'll just move on to the high ground. The protection of the Tombstone and the Wraith Pact. Now even the familiars from jabs.
Lanjut sih. Yang penting menang dulu aja dah. Gue nggak peduli 10 kill lah.
Just nothing they can do about it. The question is, do Fnatic keep going?
They have no reason to really back off. I mean, you still have some threats out from the Gladiators, but you've got Aegis running for around a minute 40 here. You just take control of the jungle. You know, cut off the resources for the Gladiators, keep all the lanes as shoved out as you can, and swing around if someone overextends. And you've got a really sweet opening with his secondary life on Armel. You're not too scared of that jump in from Boom, of that onslaught out from Ace. And they don't even have a way to position themselves. Like, look at this. These flares, they just get everywhere.
Look at the Celery, he just can't make his way out of there. He almost rocket flare. Oh, he's barely going to survive. Oh, this is just disgusting. It reminds me of that bounty hunter Tinkermeta. You just can't escape the rockets.
Nah, it just never ends. And it's just
gak usah gitu lu Dimas, kontol lu ya.
It's just been such a menace since picking that up.
Bro, lu gak boleh doain rezeki orang tuh hilang, Cok. Gak bagus, Cok. Bangsat gue aja gak beragama tahu anjing. Anjing gak ngadim, Cok.
Ace, he'll keep the fight going. Jabs is just in that snowfall, waiting to just go back into this fight. He's completely surrounded though. Should go, but Duraccio copying way too much damage, and in comes Boom once again on the storm. He finds Jabs on that Visage. Is Armel still trying to man up here against Duraccio, but Duraccio is happy to oblige us. He's going to back his way out. Familiar's still doing them favors here on the side as Raven is going to TP away and Gaiman, they find a way to defend.
Hey, hold on. Really great jump in from the side of the Gladiators. That Ags pickup from Boom, turning the tides.
Massive.
That's the coordination we needed to see. You know, get that AoE vortex down, get your kisses out. Really good use of silence here as well to give them that time to re-engage. And the side of Fnatic now.
Lu $120. Kalau gue di $120 gue tarik anjing, kagak ada gue buat judi ngentot.
A lot more cautious onto the high ground as we can see here again.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, Global Silence was immediately out, saving the day. Now the
Vortex.
The unexpected zip back in from Boom. really paying off. And when you've got the combination of the trample and the pulverize, just so hard to survive through all that damage output.
It took them a really long time to kill off jabs as well, despite all of that. It's just they managed to isolate all of these heroes really nicely, split it up after taking them all together. And Armel, even if he had the Aegis, he had no one to follow through on his second life, forced to back off and just kind of play it safe. Keeping themselves in this game here, the Gladiators, but they're not able to really push out the lanes as far as they can. You know, it's not an opening for a tier 2. It's not quite an opening for Roshan either. So they're going to have to repeat that. Because despite those losses, Fnatic, they still have the initiative. They still have superior map control, and that threat for the high ground still lined up.
Well, you've got the Skadi now up on the Morph as well, so Durantio just a little bit tanky on it with here. 16, I love myself a close game, John, and now 7k net worth. Nothing to write home about if you're Fnatic. It's 1.5 minutes into the game, so
kemarin yang minus 101, minus 101
between these two teams. Short game and they are down 1.
Enggak, minus 101 tuh gini ceritanya, Bus. Itu gak nyampe 100 gua. Gak nyampe 100 itu.
Everything on the line here for these two long years throughout the DPC.
Itu gak nyampe 100, Cok. Cuman minus aja.
Something happened, but who do they find?
Ngisi minus ngisi itu ngisi anjing singkat gua, Cok.
Got the rocket flares, the traps, the shrapnels, everything working in their favor. They are still sneaking up through the triangle, but the smoke.
Ayo Fnatic menangin biar anak muda ini profit gitu dong, Dimas. Gitu dong.
Trying to keep up, does end up finding the Visage, but can't really follow up with that. Just going to that stone form and be just fine as now the Familiars just going to stun up the Primal Beast. Do they have the follow-up damage here on Fnatic? I don't think they do, but they are still just throwing out everything. But
gila, itu satu map kelihatan anjing sama flare.
He will just casually walk his way out.
Very low commitment from Fnatic to shove you away there. You don't need to throw any bodies forward. Jabs is still really durable. He doesn't mind being jumped on that smoke. The Racha's kind of playing tag, isolated from his team, but the side of Fnatic isn't quite keen to jump onto that Morphling as well. I mean, he's got the Skadi up, he's got a lot of stats, but in Manta he's got a lot of ways of saving himself. So he's a
no damage anjing nih, sniper Cok, butuh raw damage anjing, nggak butuh.
They're still getting that build up.
Skadi nggak apa sih, habisin damage item 1 lah minim. Daedalus kayak apa kayak.
They could just wait for the next Roche. It is just around 10 seconds away when we'll see that respawn. Good shove in mid from the Racha, but again, not really able to fully commit for that objective yet.
Absolutely. Just very careful right now. One team fight could just decide this game. Got the buybacks available.
Bawa ke push, lo harus nge-dev.
That Radiant Triangle for now.
Oh, it's a quick Roche.
Certainly a very quick Roshan here. This would be in the favor of game, and they're in position for this one. And Celery seems to know he might just get lucky. 5 seconds to go. We'll see if Fnatic can try to spot this one out as well. You do have the advantage of the rocket players to fly in from DJ. They are focused right now on the mid-2 tower. And there's your Roshan. Gaiman could be the blessing they've been looking for here. Roshan does start going down, but the rocket players are going to fly out and give the vision. Question is, can they make it in time?
Ayo lo, spamin roket lo anjing. Gila lo, udah kayak jalur Gaza, Cok. Gila, cosplay jalur Gaza bangsat. Nih, lu pengen tahu gimana kondisi Palestina Israel begini anjing. Dilemparin rudal bangsat.
It's just so much damage coming out. The hero's not even close by. Like they whittle away, they know it's such a risk. If that angle is
anjing cosplay Palestina bangsat.
They have good counterplay in the pin though. And the AoE Vortex is still ready on Boom. And you've got the kisses to back you up. Global Suns is ready to go as well. So Fnatic, it's not an easy call for them to commit to this one either.
They just picked up a side device here on the TA to boot. Even maybe a bit of a surprise reveal here with this Hex, but they're going to get started on the Roshan. It's already less than half an HP away.
Kill anjing!
Tofu! He's just going to drop. The rocket players get it done. DJ able to snipe.
Dapat Aegis Aghanim, nice!
Oh man.
Well, what can you do? You're trying to run, but the rockets just keep chasing.
Sumpah anjing. Cok, Clockwork nggak ada Clockwork anjing. Kita anggap Clockwork adalah hero Israel ngentot. Clockwork sama dengan hero Israel anjing. Kerjanya ngelempar rudal bangsat, salah. Enggak. Kok Israel kebalik anjing, Palestina anjing, siapa sih namanya? Itu yang Palestina yang demen ngelempar roket anjing, yang sekali ngelempar 700 rudal itu anjing. Gila. Cok, jalur Gaza, Cok. Oh, mati anjing. Bayangin dapat Sapphire anjing.
Move up to that high ground once again. Just one good team fight in this game.
Real cosplay jalur Gaza ngentot.
Opportunity to try and turn this one around, but they need that.
Omrat real anjing.
Gonna be that easy. easy though.
One
push here from Ace. Primal Beast, but the top lane is being forced in now. We've seen how fast Armel can take these towers. Mind you, last time he did have a double damage rune, to be fair. It's still a very painful process for this tier 3 tower, however.
Oh my god.
Just standing from a mile away and there's just nothing you can do.
Like, these towers just melt with that song that's a brave. Once you break that invis,
global. Tapi nggak apa-apa, masih ada Aegis, so aman.
Out from Raven, locking down the storm, still they do find at least the Aegis. And boom, he can go for a reset. Not a bad start whatsoever here for GG. Durancio, he'll keep moving forward, trying to find the sniper, but needs to back his way out. Can't deal with the damage output of Armel at the moment.
Lanjut, Cok, Armel, Cok.
They did have the refraction charges to play with those, so didn't really take any damage. Firm, gonna move in again, but a quick BKB on Armel, this time ready for it, but instead they found Raven on the TA. He goes down, Lee Celery, he drops as well, but they do have the buyback, and now Ace in the backside.
Oh, jauh banget, Cok!
Into the vortex, Boom just setting up perfectly. Oh, what a vortex out from Boom!
He makes it work. He finds the angle back in. He knows that the BKB out on Raven is gone. So he can just punish that TA, focus in, no secondary life up on Armel, and they just melt down from that damage. Like, the control came out. They didn't have global silence. That's why Fnatic might have felt a little bit more confident hang around there.
Itu jauh banget anjing vortex-nya, Cok!
Punishing Boom when he does manage to get that jump in. I mean, they have the Hex, but the Storm, being aware of that, can
Iya, gue bilang apa? Armel lo damage, makanya dia butuh item damage 1. Ah, di dalus bener.
Back into this game, only a 3k advantage, no Aegis to worry about. They do move onto the high ground, the tier 3 tower in big trouble. Durancio, he'll get it started. Force the glyph out. It's not going to mean Durancio backs off. Nobody's brought back, nobody's respawned quite yet from Fnatic, so the map is completely free for gamers. It's been such a long time since they've had this kind of opportunity on the map. They do force out another glyph. Down towards the bot side, Durancio goes. He wants 2 lanes for his trouble. Question is, does he even find one? Because the respawn timers are running a little bit low, but they do find the mid-range while they can. Durancio, he'll find that bottom tier 3 tower, onto the bot racks. It's a very quick process here for Gaiman. 2 racks is up. They'll be very happy with that. No need to rush any further. They'll back their way out.
Now the Gaming Gladiators are in complete control of this game. Really good Rax advantage coming out. Their team fights coming in. Their scaling's shaping up. I mean, this Durancio Morphling with the Daedalus up, it just does so much damage. And Fnatic, again, they get overconfident. They know global silence is down, but they don't respect the Storm here.
Boom just doing such a fantastic job throughout these fights. Just every time the Vortex is up, there's just nothing you can do. And look at this Vortex from a mile away, just dragging everybody in. There's no chance to fight back once the BKBs are gone. And game, and you keep that up, this game is yours.
It's just, as long as they can keep executing. Fnatic, though, they're not going to just lie down there. Smoke out from them. Roshan still a ways off, as that was fairly fresh in the last fight. If they manage to get the ambush here, it's big. Still, you've got protection now on Boom. He's got his own BKB up. Even if he's caught off guard a bit, as long as he's able to turn that BKB on when he sees Raven nearby, how do you lock down the Storm? You just don't have much to stop this.
Ini gimana caranya nge-fight anjing? Sekalinya kena Vortex mati semua.
Another double damage rune though is going to be found out by Fnatic, so Raven, he'll take it this time around. No bottle to stall that one up, he will just pick it up himself. It just doesn't seem like they're going to be able to smoke up and find some kind of opening, however. They're just going to sit back for now and wait out the perfect time. Problem is now Durancio, top of the net worth board, looking very, very farmed up, working on towards that Satanic. He's going to be a real problem once he
Morphling harus mati di fight. Gak tau gimana ceritanya Morphling harus mati di fight anjing. Jadi harus ada damage ke Morphling. Hex gitu, dia kan gak ada shard tuh. Bisa gitu di hook shot terus Hex.
Got a lot of room now for Durancio to dance around on that Morphling. And again, they're just so slippery on the side of the Gaming Gladiators. Like, you have to worry about Storm, you have to worry about the Primal Beast, you have to worry about the Morphling jumping on top of you. They've got this really good start on the fights for the Gladiators with the Global Silence up, and just don't have that same control. It still just kind of goes down to DJ and Jabs. If they maybe play with their familiars and the hookshot well, that's where the game can start to shine for Fnatic, but that's a lot harder to pull off than just
game, gak nemen lu anjing.
Onslaught in with Silence to back you up.
Again, top side. Gonna hang around his own jungle now, still maybe just trying to search for Fnatic, but around they creep back into that Radiant Triangle of their own. The opportunity to smoke, at least for now, his own ninja gear, his own smoke going. Make sure he can rotate across the map and undetected by Game.
Late game bukan yang menang Fnatic, nggak juga. Tergantung eksekusi late game ya. Morpling-nya kuat banget anjing, banget cok.
Player vision just giving so much information back the way. Fnatic is Game. They go over the top side of the map, but they might even start a high ground push.
Got the room to get that done, Zhao.
Morpling.
Showing they cannot initiate is now Durantio moving very far forward. Vortex is there. They have found Armel. Hookshot is out from DJ Boom. He's running a little bit low on mana. Still Durantio. He'll keep moving forward onto the sniper. Do they have the damage? They do. The TP attempt will not be enough. They do lose that sniper. Now Ace spotting out Raven, unable to catch him. It's a Genuel gonna sit back and make sure Raven does remain protected. They cannot afford to lose this TA right now with Boom. He's gonna move in once again onto the Visage and they'll just take down.
Lu lihat damage itu barusan anjing. Nyawanya Visage full. Brek hilang anjing.
Slowly but surely just falling apart.
These are massive kills coming out for Gaming. They've got the opportunity to really shove in, force some buybacks out. I mean, Armel, he had cheese. He didn't want to pop it. He just BKBs, tries to bail out. But the output of the Morphling is just so high. Would have full Daedalus, now would have full Satanic on hand as well. He can just sustain true. Again, true that Scotty that Armel wants to threaten with. Side of Fnatic, they've got to play a lot more cautious, but the Gladiators, and they're in control now.
Yeah.
Clearly,
gak bisa anjing lu nge-hookshot. Stormnya no damage anjing. Simple as that, Stormnya no damage. Lu kalau all in ke Morphling udah gak ada damage lagi mereka anjing.
All the way around.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just such a great comeback here from Gaming so far. Seeing that buyback status there, Jonathan. So many heroes in the map right now have buyback. In fact, there's only 2 that don't. It might be 9 out of 10 very, very soon. It's both teams waiting for that massive team fight where they are going to need to expend them. But Durantio, he'll at least get started on that tier 3 top tower. Not going to last too long at this range. They do flip it up.
Tuh bisa tuh, all in, bunuh. Allah Akbar, Yesus Kristus, gak dapat, gak apa. Cukup.
Zombies continue chasing, but again, like he's going to be able to get his way out. Fnatic not interested in chasing at the moment. They'd rather just keep.
Gitu anjing, harus dia yang inisiasi anjing. Morphling-nya di hookshot, dia apa semua keluar ke Morphling gitu.
Ground right now. You've got the sniper. You can stall this game out fairly long on that hero. You also did manage to force out the global silence from Celery. So it is an opportunity for Fnatic if they get a little bit more info out. Scouting around with DJ and his flares. Next Roche, not too long away here, Mike. 20 seconds away. Gonna be the flashing point for both sides to kind of fight over to kind of determine this game.
Again, rocket players flying out.
Belum hex kan? Belum.
Getting all the vision. Roshan, you mentioned John, very, very close to respawning now. Gaiman prepped for the next Roshan. It's just when you've got this vortex on the storm, it just feels like such a great position to try and fight in. Strong position for Gaiman in that Roshan pit indeed. There's your 4th Roshan now. All the items available. Even if they can win this next team fight, the game just feels like it's basically theirs. Mind you, you do still have a lot of buybacks on the map. Still play around if you do end up going down as Gaiman.
Gak ada global, cok. Bisa di-fight, cok. Oh, ada 10 detik yang jadi.
To start Roshan themselves. They understand they're not going to be able to be undetected though. That's the real big problem. Instead they're going to hang around that Radiant Triangle. Durantio moves in. They found DJ on the clockwork. In trouble already. Global starts in the back up and now the Vortex. Right into the backside. Finds Armel. Finds Raven. What a Vortex from Boom. Just finding all the cores he could ask for. And they do buy back. They've got to try and force the fight right now. Tofu's gone already on the Snapfire. But he will buy back as well. Buyback's being expended. Gaiman will get rid of the familiars from Jams. Armel trying to get to work, but it does feel like he's lacking a bit of damage here on this sniper. They do move in once again. The Vortex Boom just all over it. They found the sniper again. Armel, he'll eat the cheese up. He'll go for the concussive grenade and try to force this fight the best he can. But where's the damage output? They're still trying. Raven, they'll find Ace at least. Armel, he's manning up. He is trying, but they are down. Both down without buyback game, and they may have just made the comeback happen.
They've got a really clear shot. They know those 2 cores just don't have buybacks, having committed it earlier on. Zhao can't do much to stop this.
His brain is so
big. They go
big.
on to that last set of racks. Fnatic, 90 seconds without...
Lose. Kosong. Dah. Mana call-nya? Udah tuh, udah di call tuh. Ya.
But at the end of the day, they make the comeback happen. And for Fnatic, they tried their best, but they were just unable to close out the game. And a couple bad team fights, and it was all over. Game is just proving to be the better team today.
Game really played excellent.
Nggak ada, udah habis duit gua. Nggak ada judi-judi lagi dah, udah Lar.
And he played around that so well. Like the SNY Ags build up, allowing him to jump forward, the Sunjin Kaya build up, and just take control. Like there was nothing to stop him. They get the Hex out on Raven down the line, but he just manages to play it a little bit.
Apa sih main abis ini? RNG entity. Ah, bullshit.
And it just kind of crumbles. They just didn't have that hard control. They didn't have the same level of team fight that Oil basically
0,1 anjing, kita all in aja dah.
Kind of find a hook
Kalian
shot
dah.
angle for the team, and whether or not Jabs could put his familiars forward enough to get some good chain control off, and sometimes that's really hard to find.
I mean, it was a close game, but you got to give props to the boys.
Wow, menangnya 0,08. Yuk, bisa yuk.
This game won't work in their favor, and it's going to feel so good now for them.
Teller. Bye. Bubar, kontol.